Hello and welcome. So today we're going to be doing something completely different. I never did one of these, and tell me if the volume and like all the audio is fine, because I have no idea. I just set up these scenes in OBS. But yeah, today we're going to be doing something different. It's going to be a rehab facility special, and you know that like rehab facilities are my own rant videos, and I wanted to change the format for a long time. And honestly, yesterday I just didn't have an idea what to talk about. And I was like, shit, I should probably do a stream with my community and talk about stuff that you want to talk about. So this topic today is going to be are you excited? Audio check, 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 1, 2. So are you excited about 318 and what excites you the most about that patch? 5 out of 5. Nice. All right, so we have our first caller for today, and I'm gonna try to run these, like I don't know, on a monthly basis. I don't know, December is probably gonna be full of them, but afterwards, because I wanted to stream the whole December basically, and I wanted to check it out because I never streamed before, and I wanted to see and experience streaming and talking to you guys, and interacting with you guys, but. You can I'm probably going to do these like community talks and podcasts with friends and with the community at least once a month after December. So our first caller today is going to be Lex Lotto.
Hello.
Lex Lotto. Oh my god, I fucked it up. Okay, there we go. Hey Lex Lotto.
Hello.
How you doing?
Not too bad.
You want to introduce yourself maybe to the community?
Yes. So I'm Lex Lotto. I've been within the Star Citizens community for about 4 or 5 years now, somewhere around there. I began in 2018, started backing then, and then saw how broken the game was, left for a little bit, rejoined in 2020 and played since then basically. Met you just over a year ago now?
Yeah. I think it was like 313. Something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So we so I think I met you and then I joined Overlords, played religiously for about 6 months and then 8 months. And then 317.1 came out and I stopped playing because it literally blue screened my PC every time I loaded it up.
I remember that.
And then that's it, really.
That's it?
Yeah.
So what are you playing now?
Overwatch and Warzone. That's about it. I haven't played. I'm gonna play in 318, but
you got to talk a bit more because I'm trying to fix the chat. The text size is too fucking small.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Just go for it.
So essentially, I'm probably gonna start playing again once 318 comes out. But other than that, it's one of those where like still the game is just so unbelievably buggy right now. I can't justify installing it again.
Yeah, have you ever have you even played 317?
I played a little bit of 317, but that was like again, it was one of those where it blue screened my PC every time I loaded it up to the point where I don't even want to load it up on my new PC because I don't want to risk that. I don't want to risk burning out a card.
Yeah. Well, you got a new PC now, right?
Yeah.
So you should be good.
Mm-hmm. Again, I just don't once 318 comes out, I'll play it. But
I mean,
I don't want to risk burning
we'll
out a
see
card.
how it's gonna work with our PCs with the Gen 12 rendering. But you are excited about 318, right?
Oh, for sure. Like it's one of those again. They're gonna be fixing a lot of the issues that I have with the game, other than the fact that I prefer the combat in 316, like the actual space combat.
What do you mean?
Well, they said they were slowing down the combat for 318, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not going to happen in 318. That's like they're testing it out in Squadron 42, and you know what that means. Like that's like at least a year from now.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah. So that's fine then.
All right. So, what are the other issues that you're excited to see that they're fixed?
So cargo for starters. I'm hoping that they haven't pushed the cargo refactor back even further.
No, it's committed.
So 318. So yep, cargo is going to be fun as hell. Like especially for anyone that does like pirate loops and stuff. Like that's going to be so good.
Yeah,
because like you actually have an incentive to board ships. Like that's such a good incentive to
do you know about the soft death mechanic?
Yeah. So like the fact that like obviously like once a ship is destroyed, it's not actually destroyed. It's like shut in a shutdown state, basically, right?
Yeah.
And then
you get
into
booted out of your seats. You cannot interact with the ship. All the doors get opened and they stay open, and you cannot go into the bed in bedlock.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Like again, that also sorts out some other issues I've had with the game where like people will either bedlog or they'll like just fucking like literally blip into the dark, like into dark space, and then just sign out on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good.
All right, let me just interact with the chat for a second. So, guys, if you want to say something, if you want to contribute, you can hop into my community Discord and hop straight into the podcast. There's 2 callers here in the waiting line. And if you want to contribute by like just saying something, just tag me so I can read it out so I can see it. Anyway, 318 should be on the PTU tomorrow. Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, the leaks said that it's going to be released to the PTU in like late Friday, like Friday night, but that never happened. But we like Evocati just got a fucking update. So they are working in crunch time and they are working to push it out next week. So hopefully Monday.
I just hope the servers can handle it because like that, like the cargo, it's going to be inventory all over again.
What do you mean?
Do you not remember when inventory first came out and we were the ones that broke servers?
Yeah. I saw some pictures of a ton of shit like dropped on the floor in Grim Hex, and it just gave me like PTSD immediately. When I saw
of us just slowing servers down to 5 FPS.
Yeah.
Just like dropping backpacks.
So if you guys in the chat do not know, Lex and I, we are thank you Ross for the $5. Lex and I are leading the same org, and before that we were in another org, and what was it, 314, right? When the inventory dropped. Yeah. So the inventory dropped, and Lex was the first guy that started breaking the servers with the backpacks. So we would just spawn backpacks inside the elevators, and like the whole server would just break. Like when you had 200 backpacks colliding with each other, like the physics engine and the servers just could not handle those. So like my biggest concern, and thank you for mentioning that, Lex, is that like that's gonna happen again. Because from what I saw or from what I've seen, that they took out the area too cluttered thingy that they added because of us.
Wait, sorry, I was just looking over at chat and I realized that like Moon said that the Vulture's coming out in 318. What?
Yeah, salvage, dude.
What's the bet that salvage is getting pushed back again?
Just
before it releases.
No, it's being committed and it's being tested in Evocati and it's working. So Vulture and the Reclaimer are going to get their salvage. It's going to be tier 0, of course, but it's still something. Like it's hull scraping, basically. So
I don't mind that.
Honestly, I cannot wait for that because I want to do salvage like a lot. And on that topic, yesterday I was talking to the guys in my community channel, and I asked them like, "What do you think?" And this is a question for the chat also. Do you think that the Reclaimer price is gonna go up because it just got its game loop or the tier 0 of its game loop?
It's gonna go up by like $150, I reckon.
Probably.
Like 150. Yeah, like 150, $175, because that's what happened to the cat.
Yeah. It was, like, no, the cap was like $50 or something like that, right?
No, hang on. I remember I had like a spreadsheet at one point for this. Like all of the ships went up in price at one point.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So my thoughts are that like the Reclaimer is almost a capital ship. I mean, it is capital size compared to like the Polaris. It's bigger than the Polaris and the Odyssey, but it didn't have a game loop, so that's why it was like $400. And I think that like after this patch, we're gonna see an increase in the price of the Reclaimer. Did you find it?
no. Where is it? Yeah, so it went from the original cost of 225. It went up to it didn't go up by a massive amount, but it went from 225 to 295,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
which is still a decent price jump.
So somebody's not a foe in chat said that the Wave 1 PTU is out, but I do not see it on my launcher, so I would not trust that, honestly. Apparently there's there's a screenshot of a guy downloading it on the Star Citizen Discord. It's probably just Evo, not a foe. It's probably just Evo cutting. So, Lex,
Yes.
do you know about the Korea update and the crime stat update and all that?
I fill me in a little bit.
Okay. I know that you were completely out of the loop. So, when you get a crime stat, the only way that you can clear it, or CS3, the only way that you can clear it is if you go to Korea. So bunkers are out of the game, basically.
Why?
Now, CS3 and above needs to be cleared at Korea, but also Korea is going to be basically a permanent jump down. Because it has a dispenser and it's gonna like spawn drugs and shit like that.
That makes no sense though, because it's a security station. So why would it just be pumping out drugs?
I mean, it's spawn closets, right? It's like the easiest mechanics to make, but it's gonna incentivize. Like you will have to PvP in the next patch. If you want to clear your crime stat or you want to do anything else, you gotta PvP.
That's fine. I'm fine with like them sort of forcing PvP for like people that actually are like on the red side, because that makes more sense.
Did you hear about the shield changes in the ballistic meta?
Yeah, I remember that. The fact that like ballistic and distortion is gonna like rip through fucking shields.
No, ballistics need shit. Distortions need the shields to be down. But once you like hit the ship and it goes into like distorted level or whatever you want to call it.
It's 5-minute cooldown, isn't it?
5-minute cooldown.
Yep.
And ballistics cut through shields now. Like almost no damage is soaked up by these shields.
So it's literally just either run full ballistics and just wipe people, or run like distortion laser and just like use laser to destroy their shields and then use distortion to shut them down.
Or just make a stupid bug like we did back in.
That's true. Like
with ballistics and distortions. Yeah. So will you be playing 318? What is the thing that would piss you off the most and like would make you stop playing 318? What are you scared about the most?
Honestly, it's the server issues. Like how
stability.
Yeah, like how aggravating it is to reset every 30 minutes, because like especially with like some of the weird setups we do.
Yeah.
Like it's so annoying to like have to do a reset after like every 30 minutes and like jump back into the game, jump out of it, jump back into the game. And it's like I don't understand how they haven't been able to create something that's just stable. Like why aren't they just working on netcode as opposed to, like, I understand we want features, but
like the 30K issue is not just a server. I mean, it is a server related issue. Like if you lose connection to the server, you lose because I don't know, your internet died or something, like the client had an issue with the server or the server crashed, or and then like the server crashes can be caused by fucking facial animations and also clouds, and also like everything can cause a server crash. So remember like a couple of patches ago when the Redeemer was introduced, and like whoever sat in the jump seats would crash everybody on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah. So like that's one of the reasons, because like there's like the game is too fucking big for them to like they don't have a stable build because they don't have a finished build where they can like try and fix everything, right? So I don't expect, like I expect 318 to be a shit show. I am excited about it, but like I'm really skeptical because I think that PES and all of that, like all the changes in the backlog and in how the servers see the game, basically, like that's going to be crashing the servers.
Yeah. Are we getting a currency wipe this patch or no?
We're getting like a full blown wipe.
Is it full wipe?
Yeah.
Ah, so much for them saying, "Oh, we can wipe different sections." Oh, we're just gonna full wipe anyway, guys.
Yeah. I mean, the reasoning behind it is because of the PES, right? But also, I mean, you can wipe our items, you can wipe our ships and all that, but you don't need to wipe the what's it called? Reputation levels and all of that.
Yeah, but I bet they're going to.
Yeah. I mean, they
Like,
said that they will, so.
Again, I understand for the sake of like gameplay loops, it makes sense. But at the same time, can we like when you introduce a feature where you turn around and go, "Hey, we don't have to wipe every 0.1 patch," and then they just wipe every 0.1 patch anyway.
Yeah. Somebody just well, I mean, you know why they wiped 317.2 because of the exploit. And the exploit, like if you had all the ships in the whole 317 cycle and then you had IAE, why would you buy a ship? So they had to wipe so they can have more sales.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, somebody just said in the chat, the recent video where you compared the water to Crisis made me pretty upset about the state of the game. It was staggering. So are you excited about the new rivers that are going to be like all around?
You mean the like third of a frame animation that they did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so chirpy about that. So good.
Amazing.
I can't hold back my excitement for it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's silly that they're working on like visual things like that when there's absolutely no point. Bring us features, not features.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to say? Or should
about
I just go?
About 318? No, like it's one of those again. Like for the most part, I'm excited for it for sure because they're actually like fixing core issues that I had with the game. But at the same time, I'm worried about it because like the instability is going to be there, and I don't want to reset every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I like my game time, and when my game time is ruined by having to wait 20 minutes to get into a server every time.
And then having to spawn a ship. Although, if you happen to spawn, like, if you happen to go to the same server where you crashed, your shit should be there, and your avatar or whatever, your player model, whatever, is supposed to be right where you left off.
Okay.
When the server crashed. That's with the persistence. But the issue is there is no matchmaking. Therefore, you will not be able to find that server where you were on. So it's basically a game of chance.
Yeah. It's just Russian roulette with the character, basically.
Yeah. So, like, I was thinking it would be great to have PES and then just like store a bunch of shit on your ship and just live on the ship. Like for example, on a reclaimer, you just do everything with a reclaimer or whatever, Carrack, it doesn't matter. And then I was like, well, if I join another server, that's not going to be there. Like my stuff is not going to be there, right?
Yeah.
So
it's like,
what's the point then? Like until server meshing, there's no point in having that tech. At least like towards us the players, right?
Yeah, it's again that like I like that they're like actually focusing in on like stuff that's going to help us, like when when we actually go into like proper server meshing.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that they're actually doing that now rather than when server meshing comes out and everything is just completely busted. Like I'd prefer them to sort of hammer out this stuff now. It may be frustrating for me. It may have stopped me from playing a patch, but at the same time, sorry.
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like at the same time, at least they're actually more coherent with their ideas now than they were like last year. Last year, it seemed like they were releasing nonsensical patches for no reason.
Yeah, because they were working on PS, I guess. I don't know. But you want to tell the story to the chat on how you wanted to sell your account, and then Grumpy told you not
Oh
to.
Yeah. so in very short, the game started blue screening my PC. I got extremely aggravated by this because I knew it was the patch. It wasn't my PC. Because every other game perfectly fine. Star Citizen would literally shut down my PC.
Yeah.
So I just began to get more and more frustrated by it. At the time, I was
you were
just
not
thinking,
the only one, by the way. It was also Rex, right?
Yeah. And it was one of those where I just decided, you know what, right? I think I'm done with this game. I can't deal with it. I'm just gonna go to my fallback plan and just start building keyboards and just have fun with that.
Yeah.
So I'll just sell my account. My account's worth a decent chunk of change. So I can just sell my account and just be done with it. And then I told you this idea, and you went, "Oh, just give it time. Just wait. Just wait and see what they do." So I did, and 317.2
Yeah, 0.2
came out. Still didn't like it, but it didn't. I got a new PC as well, which helped a lot. It didn't blue screen my PC, but I was like, okay,
but
it's
the
getting
patch was
better.
trash, honestly.
Yeah,
like
but
our whole org stopped playing.
But it was one of those where they brought me back from the brink because it was a case of, okay, this isn't killing my PC, so I'm not going to sell my account. I'm just going to wait.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of personal shit happened, and I left socializing entirely.
Yeah. Somebody just said in the chat that you shouldn't overclock your PC.
I don't overclock.
All right.
I actually, my old PC was underclocked. This new PC is also underclocked.
Well, you shouldn't underclock your PC either for Star Citizen. You need a good internet connection. You need to have an SSD and a DDR4 32 gigs of RAM. Actually,
okay. the best part is I already have an SSD. I have literally 300 megabit down internet.
Yeah, I know.
That's not
an
issue.
I know.
It's like, oh no.
Like whenever I post a short video on YouTube on like the bugs in Star Citizen, every fucking time I get a question if I have an SSD, if I have at least 32 gigs of RAM, why am I playing on an old PC, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's one of those where because at the end of the day, it probably was my PC, but at the end, the issue is that what Star Citizen does is it stresses every single ounce of your PC.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be better with Gen 12 in the next patch.
But that was my issue, is it stresses every single ounce of the PC because it is essentially the CryEngine. That's what the CryEngine was known for.
Yeah.
But the PC probably had some sort of fault in it somewhere that any other game wouldn't have pressed.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so it is Star Citizen that is the issue, but it just so happens that my new PC's like a giga chad, so it doesn't even get stressed by Star Citizen.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's
I mean, also try streaming while you're playing, and it's gonna stress the shit out of you.
you need to get a streaming PC, bud.
Yeah, I mean, money
I
first, then streaming PC. But
that is very true.
Yeah.
I will not take up all of your time. I will pass
All
on
right.
the mantle to another.
Thank you for
person.
hopping in, and thank you for
It is all
speaking your
good.
mind. Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna mute
Throw
for
me
a
out.
second.
Kick me out.
Yeah, I will.
Do it.
I will. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Lex. He is from my org, or we have an org together. Can I just disconnect him? I guess, yeah, I can. All right. So the next guy that we have, if you want to join the stream, and if you want to, this is going to go out as a video on YouTube anyways, because this is basically the Grumpy's Rehab facility that I'm doing on a weekly basis. But this time, I want to give you a chance to speak your mind out and just hop into my community Discord and we can talk. So we have 3 more callers here. One of them is going to be RCA Industries, and I'm going to drag him in. There we go. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Can we hear each other? Oh, nice. What's up?
Not much. Been a fan of yours for a while, and I finally
Thank you.
decided to join into your Discord, and here I am.
Let me just change your name here. RCA Industries.
The RA is the Ross Aiken.
The what now?
Ross Aiken would be what the RA stands for.
Ah, okay. So, are you excited for 318?
Absolutely. So I'm actually a lot newer than a lot of people. I started playing in 2020. So I really haven't seen, I guess, the downsides this a lot of people are talking about. I've only really played with my organization. So I just do a whole lot of team stuff. Super excited for 318. Outside of Star Citizen, I do play Satisfactory. It's the only 2 games I play. I never heard of it, but I enjoy it a lot. But I sort of got into it in the wrong way. I got in back in 20 and spent like $3,000 on a Polaris and an Odyssey and a bunch of other stuff, and realized I sort of messed up. And ever since then, just been enjoying the game.
All right. So you are enjoying 317 patch.
Yes, and the reason for that is and I don't know if I could just be insane too, but which is likely.
No.
I noticed a week ago, for example, in my mole, that it changed. Like I said, it could have always been this way. Maybe it's a glitch, but it changed from being I had 15 minutes to get the quantum to a station to 20. Because on my prospector, I get the alert, halfway through, like the 7:30 mark.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed the mole had an extra 5 minutes added. Or maybe it's just my mole's glitching. But now I have extra time to get quantum to a station, and that just happened like a week or 2 ago.
All right.
So there's little updates I've noticed to make it fun. I personally, my playstyle, I'm a miner. I really like the mining gameplay. And even though it's been the same way since I believe March, it's just there's always new places to mine and new ways to, I guess, make it more efficient. So I mean, I've gotten it down, I think, to probably 500,000 UEC an hour just hauling quant back and forth with the mole.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy it. I'm not a person versus person player really. I am looking forward to the new updates with the ballistics because I like putting ballistics on the mole just so if I'm mining and some other little prospector gets in and tries to take what's mine, I can hit him close range with ballistics.
That's nice.
So it's gonna work really well for me, I think, being able to be like point blank range with ballistics on a mole.
I never had that happen. I got pirated. I got molested by some pirates, but I never got like a prospector that just wanted to steal my stuff. That's awesome.
It happens about once a week for me. I'll break a whole bunch of rocks in an area, have maybe a 10,000 meter area of a bunch of rocks broken with just exposed ore ready to be grabbed, so I can collect it all at once and run. And every so often, someone in a prospector will come down and start stealing some.
Nice. So, what are you excited the most about 318?
Two things. One, I'm excited most about finally the whole series will be useful. I have a whole A, and I'm hoping with the new rework, it's faster to unload and unload the A because everything's on the outside versus on the inside. We'll see how long times take for loading and unloading. I'm also sort of hoping, I mean, who knows? I'm sort of hoping we see like a what would you call it? Surprise drop of maybe the hull B or hull C, because I believe they're supposed to come out in like 2020, back with the 317, if you go like to the Googling of them. So I'm hoping maybe we see one of those pop up with the new update, just because if someone does have a Caterpillar or a Carrack, they can move more than an A or a B. So what's the whole point of having a hull A or B if your Carrack or Caterpillar does more, right? So I'm hoping we see that C, but
I can tell you that the hull C is being worked on, and it was supposed to be released back in, I'm going to say 2018. But the issue was that the metrics of the hull C were not right. So the player would get stuck inside of it, or even an NPC, like they just couldn't traverse through the ship. So they had to change the metrics, and then they had to like fill it in with like pretty 3D modeling and all of that. So my guess is that it's almost finished, and maybe in 319, I wouldn't expect like maybe like 318.1 or 2 or something like that. I don't know when server meshing is going to happen. Like when is 4.0 going to happen? Because I just checked, and I started playing when you did. I just checked yesterday, and I saw like I heard that a bunch of people were talking about the hiatus between 2.6 and 3.0, and 2.6 was released in December of 2017, and then 3.0 dropped in December of 2018. So I'm scared that we're gonna wait for a year for 4.0, because we were waiting for 8 months for PS and for what's it called, for 318 patch. So
yeah, I can definitely see that. The mismanagement seems to be pretty high at the studio, so
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me.
yeah, but we might see other ships, like you said, the Hull C, for example. It could happen in like one of the in-between patches, like 318.1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, whatever. Or maybe we're gonna get. I mean, you can see on the roadmap that we have 319, but like, is there gonna be a 320? We don't know. So, yeah, that's the question. But I wouldn't expect Hull C to be released. Like, they never release something except LTI token, like a small land vehicle. They would not release it without telling us, hey, we're going to, like, especially the Hull C, like the most awaited ship in the game, next to the Band of Merchantmen. They would hype the ship out of it, basically. So yeah, I wouldn't get my hopes up for that, but I would love to see it because I have one and I want to like do some cargo hauling with it. So what do you think when we will see, like, when do you expect 4.0 to drop?
Realistically, I mean, man, I would say we're probably going to have a confirmed date, in my opinion. Probably not this February, but probably February 24. And I would probably say maybe the fall of this, because this February we'll know more of a roadmap, which will be half lies. And I mean, I would say
You
probably
said that.
a year after that.
Yeah.
I enjoy the game. I mean, I'm pretty lucky. I like the loop that I would say is probably the most complete, which is the mining loop of the game. And I am excited for the new security station coming back into play, because there's supposed to be a mini boss that like spawns you can kill and get the codes for to use the drug machine to get the contraband out so you can sell. So I'm excited for that, sort of. But last night, actually, we were doing some stuff, and a player was in a defender trying to attack us, and I just rammed my Corsair into him at full speed with full boost and obliterated him, and only messed up the nose of the Corsair. So I'm more of the I'm just going to hit my ship against yours type player. I'm not so good at the whole shooting. And so with the salvage, there's going to be a whole lot more wrecks around, and I regret never buying a Reclaimer. I bought a Vulture, never a Reclaimer. So I'm sort of hoping that when the 318 drops, we might see a CCU for a Reclaimer, which would be really nice. So I'd like to pick it up before it jumps in price, because I do think it's going to jump by at least $150.
Yeah. That's my guess, honestly. And then, like, the one thing, I don't know if you were watching while I was talking to Lex, or with the
I
previous
was.
caller. So I forgot to say one thing, and that's like yesterday we were talking about like the reclaimer and the price, like if it's gonna go up or not. And then a guy in the community channel said like, well, I mean, you have the arm, you know about the arm under the reclaimer. Like it's supposed to like grab ships and then like scoop them up and drop them into the whatever it's called, the grinder pit and all of that. And then apparently there's drones on the reclaimer, and there's like a snub vehicle that is supposed to cut through the ships, etc. I mean, that's all that the reclaimer should have. And I was like, dude, I really want to play that game. I don't want to play this game that we're playing right now. Like,
So
that's gonna take him
what?
at least 5 more years for that.
Absolutely. What my little org is, I'm part of a very small org of like 17 people. What we've been practicing is someone else has a reclaimer in the org. We've been practicing taking ships out of quantum and with the snarlment, dropping their shields, and then hopefully in the next update we'd be able to maybe harvest their ship while they're inside, as long as the shields are down. Who knows? Can it be done?
will,
It's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
we were. I spawned in my hammerhead that I got as one of the loaner ships, and we found out you can park 2 Corsairs on top and bring the hammerhead in low and use it as like a shield for like a jump town event. Sacrifice your hammerhead, and then have the Corsairs deploy off the top because their EMI signature is like 800 meters or something ridiculously small. So we just like playing around with stuff.
What do you think about the boarding mechanics that we're gonna see? Like they're incentivizing boarding in the next patch. So what do you think about that?
I'm actually very excited for it. One of the reasons why I like the Corsair so much is it's actually pretty hard to blow open the back of the Corsair's door. You have to have literally a rocket launcher. There's other ships you can just shoot the door lockout to actually like get into someone's ship if they lock it. So I'm excited about the boarding mechanics. Hopefully, when there's that soft death and all the doors open, you can just go around taking people out. I think they hinted at it with the Polaris little live they had, where they showed the inner halls being more tactical. So I am looking forward to it. And like I said, I'm interested to see how it works. If you look at some of the other ships, even like a Carrack, in my opinion, the Carrack's very hard to defend internally, just how it's laid out. When something like a Corsair or even a Hammerhead's a lot better design. I mean, you can do circles in a Hammerhead and not really come across the person. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think the Hammerhead doesn't get nearly enough love, and I feel like with the soft kill dynamic, it might. But it's just gonna be a really hard ship to board.
So we as an org had a few events where we would do like boarding ships, and it was a long time ago. And one of the ships we boarded was a Hammerhead, and it was just all like pre-made. It wasn't like what is the word? Emergent gameplay. So like we just pre-made it and we set it up, and one team boarded, the other team defended, and it was super fun, honestly. But the grenade launcher is OP for that. Like, if you're flying a big ship and you're scared if you're gonna get bored, just have a grenade launcher on the back and you'll be fine.
Well, my worry about the grenade launcher though is once they start having the silly game mechanic, but where you have the fuses you have to change out if you're like an engineer, like internal damage. If you fire that grenade launcher and all of a sudden you have a bunch of fires, that might be more of an issue for you. Like, what if you're on the Carrack and you hit your med bay with a grenade launcher? Now you took out your medical.
Yeah, but the issue is if your ship, like at least in 318, if your ship goes into the soft death mode, it's not gonna go out of it. Like the ship is dead basically. So like it's every man for himself at that point. But here's the question for you, because you said that you're a miner, and I guess you're hauling your mine goods to our corp so you can sell it or whatever. So what do you think about the soft death and incentivizing people to board you and like giving pirates their game loop, their like long awaited game loop? But on the other hand, you as a miner or like / hauler, you will have like whatever you do, you're gonna lose basically.
That's correct.
Like if they attack you, so I'm just saying this for the chat. So if they attack you, they're gonna ask for some money to let you go. If you give them money, you lose. If you don't give them money, they're gonna like I don't know, make your ship go into soft debt. I don't know how to fucking explain it. Like blow you up, but not blow you up. And then they're gonna board you, and then they're gonna have access to all the cargo. But if you kill them, if you're somehow able to like kill a full squad of pirates, then you gotta find your ship again, and then you gotta go back there and like use a tractor beam to I don't know, if you have a C2, it's gonna take you a while to tractor all these SU boxes back to the other ship that you have. So what do you think about that?
Everything you said, absolutely. So I say we're very lucky, but the little org that I'm a part of, very small organization, we really only specialize in mining and anti-piracy. So about half of us have mining equipment. The other half have Scorpiuses and Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
So like last night, for example, when I was mining, I don't think I've ever mined in the game alone. Like I only usually join in when other members are there.
So
and last night when I was mining, in my mole, we had 2 Scorpiuses and a Sentinel overhead. So we try to make it where, pirates could come and attack our mole, but is it really worth the outcome if you have to get into a dogfight with 2, Scorpiuses and a Sentinel? That gives the mole time to run, and then there goes your bounty, and now you have, a considerable little contingent going after you.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it. Like we'll have 5 on the mole, 2 people in Scorpiuses, 2 in the Sentinel. So you have 9 people who can, it said bring in that 100, at least 500,000 an hour UEC, split it 9 ways. I mean, it's not the most profit per person, but it's a guaranteed safe way to mine, I think.
And what do you think about the prices of Quantanium and like the payout that you get in the end? Because the suggestion from the devs themselves is to get like a security team to secure the location, or to just like observe and defend you from pirates, etc. So as you said, once you split the income, it's not really that much. So would you like to see a change there, or do you think it's enough?
I personally, I don't get a long, complicated answer. I don't think it should change until we actually have some of the refinery ships online. The reason for that is we won't really know how much we can process an hour until we have those refinery ships available. So once that comes online, there's some balancing. I think it should definitely change one way or another. I don't mind the smaller payout, only because as long as you have even just 1 Scorpius, in my opinion, is still a very potent little defense. So even if you're just splitting it maybe 5 ways, it's still a very guaranteed safe way, in my opinion, to make money, because your pirate's just going to be, okay, where's a prospector or where's a mole that's not defended? If they see even one other ship around the mole, they're going to say, you know what, this is not easy pickings, let's move on. So I think players that aren't in an organization that mine alone are the ones that are going to be really in trouble with this next patch. But as long as you have a plan worked out, you hopefully will be okay.
All right. Okay, so do you have anything else to add before we go to the next caller?
No, I've had a pleasure talking with you, and I don't want to take any more of your time, and I'll see you around the verse.
All right. See you around the verse. All right. Thank you for joining. Anyway, I just made a poll. If you want me to make J3PT the mod, I guess you guys are used to whatever his name is, Night Rider. So but I don't know. It's it's like it's a some kind of things that I can do to interact with you. I don't know. I'm fucking tired. But guys, again, as I've said, if you want to join the podcast, you can by hopping into my community Discord. And there's a podcast chat. Just hop into the pre-podcast area, and I can drag you. Once I'm done with the previous caller, I will drag you into the podcast, and I will talk to you. We currently have 2 more speakers, and if you don't hop in, that's going to be it. Anyway, let me talk to the new guy. What am I doing here? There we go. Sergeant Clink. Hello.
Yeah.
Let me just fix up the OBS for your name and all of that. Sergeant Clink. All right, there we go. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty tired, but I'm good. So, would you want to would you like to introduce yourself? Like,
Sure.
I don't think that we ever met, honestly.
No,
So-
I just joined the Discord a couple weeks ago. That's when I
Alright.
discovered your videos. I'm fairly new to Star Citizen. I've only had the game for a few months.
Okay, that's good. A new guy perspective.
Yep.
So, are you? I guess you're actively playing Star Citizen right now, right?
On and off. I'm a little burned out. I'm waiting for him to rip the Band-Aid off and just start the new wipe over.
You are already burnt out. So, when
Yeah.
did you start?
Early to mid-September. They were doing the Siege of Orison and the
Oh, okay.
Nine Tails events. Yeah.
So, how did you like the Siege of Orison?
I liked it. Little buggy, of course.
A little buggy. That's you being generous, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you excited about 318?
I am. I'm more excited for some of the things they're fixing. I do like the new what is it? The salvaging mechanic and all that. Soft death, cargo refactor. I am looking forward to all those things.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what things that they're fixing though? What do you mean with that?
Well, from what I heard, they're fixing, I think, some of the crime stat issues. They're fixing some of the bugs and crashes. Let me pull it up real quick.
All right. So, let me tell you something from I've been longer in the verse than you. So, whenever you see that they said that it should be fixed, that's them trying to fix it, but they're not sure if it's fixed. And with the 30K issues and all of that, they can fix some, but they're going to introduce like a ton of more issues. And at least like if they fix 10, they're going to introduce 20 new issues that are going to crash the servers. So they need to like iron those out. I guess this is your first patch playing, so you got to know that. Like it's not because of them, it's because they're just like game development and whatever you do, that's gonna crash the servers. Like for example, one of the last patches was like the facial animations were crashing the servers, which is the stupidest fucking thing. But they changed something, and the servers were crashing for that reason.
Right. Like, well, yeah, that's true, I suppose. I mean, as long as there's some progress, I guess. I've heard a lot about it so far in terms of, not living up to their goals.
Yeah. So what are you most excited about in 318?
Any improvements, I guess gameplay loops, things I'm hearing about the Orison platforms. They're actually going to now be a type of FPS mission.
Yeah.
I look forward to Korea being more of an active place, and salvage. I guess I'll be able to try my hand at that.
Mm-hmm. And that's it?
Well, I mean, anything to add something new, because at this point, it's like I feel that I've been there, done that already, and
And you've been playing for 2 months now.
well, yeah, close to 3 months. I mean, I've already taken like a couple weeks as a break before IAE, and then after that, I started playing a bit, and I haven't played for maybe about 4 or 5 days. Like I've been taking breaks mostly because of the wipe. I really don't
So
like the way that they're wiping everything.
yeah, well, I mean, they wiped for 3.17.2. The wipe before that was for 3.15. And then we're going to get one for 3.18. And then again, we're going to get one for 4.0, which is understandable, honestly, because it's server meshing and we don't know when it's going to happen. So, yeah. But I think from like talking to you, I presume that you're not a part of an org. You're
No,
like a solo player.
I've had my chance. I mean, I've played, like, I know plenty of people in orgs. I play with pretty much everybody. I haven't made up my mind whether to, what org I'd like to join, jump into, or whatever. But I've played with plenty of people that are in orgs.
All right. So the reason why I'm saying that is because when I started playing, back in 2020. It took me like 3 to 4 months to get bored of the game, because that's like 2 years ago you would have to like there were even less game loops to work with than now, right? So
Yeah.
it took me like 3 to 4 months, and then I made an org with a guy that I like met in the verse. We were bounty hunting, and we made a bounty hunting org. And I have made a lot of friends, like Lex, that was the first caller, is one of my friends that is running the org with me right now. The new org, we're not playing because 317 point whatever is trash. But if you join an org, you will have like at least 6 more months of fun in the game. Like honestly, I'm telling you this honestly, because people are what make this, like, I'm gonna call it an MMO under quotations. They're the ones that make it fun.
Yeah, well, I've done Jump Town with people. I've done I've done a lot. Whenever I group up with somebody, I just expect to play for fun. When I play
Hmm.
solo, I'm usually grinding for money, grinding for loot. That's
Yeah,
when I try. Usually when I play by myself. But the thing is that it gets old after a while. Been there, done that, right? And when I do things like Jump Town, like I'm playing that for fun. Like I
yeah.
really don't care if I make any money at that point.
So, what is your main game loop?
Oh, bunkers and beacons. Like that's what I do mostly. I mean, I've done bounties too, I guess. I've tried my hand at mining, but scanning is kind of a pain. That's a bit bugged right now. So I've put that aside. Hopefully that's fixed a little bit in the coming white.
Hmm. I
And then
mean, yeah, we'll see, I guess.
yeah,
But what do
I
you
hope.
think about the bunkers and the NPCs and all that?
Oh, jeez. Desyncs horrible.
Hmm.
The AI really, they're basically dead. I,
Hmm.
I mean, I mean, I'd rather just be able to go into a bunker with no friendly security so I can clear it out because they get in the way most of the time.
Yeah,
And like I said, desync is horrible. And variations of the bunkers. Once you've been in one or two bunkers, you've been in all of them pretty much.
I mean, they are all the same.
Yeah.
Did you see the bunkers 2.0 or whatever you want to call them? The ones that they showcased during CitizenCon?
What, the ones that are supposed to be coming up?
Yeah.
When they were also advertising the new combat mechanic that they're going to be switching to eventually down the road.
Oh, you mean
'Cause
the NPCs?
well, I seen a video where they were talking about different things coming up in the future with with their changing combat speeds and they're going to be
Oh, yeah,
going
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they were
that
talking
one.
about the bunkers. Yeah, like they're saying some of the bunkers are going to be like really large industrial complexes.
Hmm.
I look forward to that, definitely.
Yeah, me too. Because what we have right now is what they made for CitizenCon 2018 or something like that. And so they just made it to have something to show, and it was just like a quick little uh, uh, um I don't know, they spent like a couple of weeks making that, and that's it. And we were stuck with it for fucking years now. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for stuff like that. That's not going to happen in 2018 though. That's a bummer, but
Oh, I
I'm
know.
guessing next year maybe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully they push Pyro out too. I mean, I'm hopeful on it being same time next year, but realistically, it could be sometime in 2024.
Yeah.
Because I mean, more stuff to do, more places to go. That's really what I'm looking forward to. 'Cause
All right, so
Stanton becomes a really small system even after playing for a few months.
mhm. So as a new player, I want to hear a new player's perspective on this. What are you most excited for, like in the far future, like of the things that you heard that they're gonna introduce to the game? Like, what do you want the most?
Oh, well, that's simple. Like the purpose for really large ships. Well, really large ships actually having a purpose. You know, like things like nomadic living like with a fleet or an org, I guess,
Hmm.
instead of being able to go to a truck stop and set your spawn. You know, like or refuel, repair. Yeah, I'm looking forward to like deep space living, exploration, stuff like that. That's why real hopeful for when Pyro comes out. We'll see a lot more of that, like having something like a Carrack or a larger ship once if they ever come out will be it'll actually have a purpose for multiple people to live and operate from.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, did you buy any of the concepts?
Yeah.
Okay. So which ones are you most excited for? Like yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm more interested for the ones I haven't thought about pledging yet, but I did pledge to Galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
but I mostly pledged that
For the
to
Carrack.
for the Carrack, yes.
Yeah, like I
And
mean
in the
that was their marketing team's fucking win. So yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
But also in the hopes that it comes up in price, and if it's not what I want it to be, which I mean, if the stats are going to be the same on it from what I've seen and read from the Q&A, I'm probably not going to keep it anyway because
yeah,
there's no point in having a ship like that. It looked really cool. That's the one thing it has going for it, but that's not going to be good enough if they keep one shield generator on there and a couple turrets with size 5 guns. That isn't going
yeah,
to be good enough.
yeah. It is gonna go up in price because if like once a ship gets closer to to release, um, I'm just checking my Discord for other callers. Then the price is gonna go up. So like for example, the Banu Merchantman was sold for 300 or $250.
I saw that when I was looking at the price of the ship. Man, it was like a 250. Like
Mhm.
the way these ships come up in price is crazy, and it's not even there yet. Like it's not even in game.
Yeah. What do you think that the Idris is gonna be like, or the Kraken? The Kraken is gonna go up to fucking 4,000 once we get closer to release.
And that's how they get people. Like I've seen that these ships go up in price,
Yep.
and it's almost like you got to jump on it now because it'll be too expensive later on.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm looking at a ship like an Idris. I was thinking about a Kraken, like even the Polaris. I guarantee after, since they're making it bigger and adding more stuff to it, it's probably going to go up from like, what is it now, 750 to like 900. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, and if it gets close, like if they actually start working on it, it's gonna be even higher. Like
Yeah,
I think it's gonna go above like 1K because,
yeah, definitely.
for example, we have a Carrack now, and the Carrack is like 600, something like that, right? And the
Yep.
Carrack does not have like 90% of the Carrack, the interior of the Carrack, you cannot interact with it. Like you have a drone bay, you do not have drones in the game. You have engineering's department for like fixing up the components and all that. That's not in the game. You have exchangeable cargo pods that like the Carrack is modular. Modularity is not in the game. So once we get all those like features in the game, I see the Carrack's price going up to like 1,000.
Yeah, especially when you're in the middle of, the Badlands, which Pyro's supposed to be. It's going to be the middle of nowhere with
Yeah,
hardly any places to refuel, restock. It's basically where you're going to be living and operating from.
yeah,
So it's going to be a ship of value. It's going to have that kind of value, but I see the Carrack currently, like if the Galaxy were to launch tomorrow and be flyable tomorrow, I honestly see the Carrack as having a bit more value currently, but you know, I have hope for the Galaxy in terms of more modules coming in, like make it a real Swiss Army knife, add additional modules to the 3 that they're offering right now.
hmm
But as it stands, I mean, it's going to be probably a mediocre ship at best unless they overhaul it seriously.
yeah. I guess we'll see. Like they tend to do stuff like buffing and nerfing ships. Like they nerf it. They nerf ships after a sale, and they buff it like prior to the sale, so they can sell more stuff, and then they nerf it. And like it's always. I guess they're not sure what they want to do with like most of their ships. Like for example, the Blade right now is the best dogfighter, and for years now, the Blade was just like, oh, there's that ship that like it's in the game. Sure, great, whatever. Like it was not a thing that you ever like think of buying, but right now it's like the meta ship basically.
Well, it's one of the metas. I mean, I still see a lot of people flying around in arrows and gladiuses.
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course.
I've had encounters with blades before.
Yeah, yeah. All right, you want to add something else? Anything else?
No, just looking forward to start the wipe again, so I can start my grind and not
You actually
get it.
enjoy grinding?
I mean, it's the way to make money, but I enjoy it until I get tired of it. I guess if there's more stuff to do, then it would be more enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
I'll probably start mining and enjoying bunkers, especially if they fix them. If they fix them, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for
I'm
having
going to
me
switch to
on.
the. Yeah. Okay. We were talking over chat. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Oh, I said thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. I'm going to switch to the other caller. Thank you. Bye.
All right, man.
All right. So you heard a new guy's perspective. I need to get my smokes and I need to drink some water. So I'll be back in a second. I'll play some music for you in the background and we will continue in like less than a minute. See? What did I say? Less than a minute. All right. Let me I want to drink some water and we will continue. But tell me in the chat, how are you enjoying this so far? And again, if you want to join and if you want to talk to me, if you want to join the podcast, you can by doing joining my community Discord, and you will see the podcast chat there. You just join the pre-podcast channel, and I will drag you in once I'm done with the caller. Also, I can see that J3PT is winning by like 1 vote. All right. Let's switch to the next caller. And this one is going to be Angus MacGyver. Hello.
Hey, buddy. How are you? Can you hear me properly?
I can. Let me just fix this for a second and write your name. Oh my God. This is so clunky.
Are you talking about Star Citizen there, right?
No, I'm talking about OBS. Mac.
All right.
I never. Okay, that's how you spell the last name. There you go. All right, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You wanted an old backer? That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Way back in the day when all we had was actually just the forums to chat on, and people were running around and getting people to join their orgs, and there was actually no game. It was just JPEGs and setting up orgs, and people just lived the dream, which never happened.
Wait, you actually had orgs before you had like ships in like the hangar?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You could actually organize an org, and people were recruiting like way back then. They
Wow.
really thought this was a thing, And then they sort of put it in, and I still remember when there were no ships, and then they gave us hangars, which was fantastic because you could actually. That was the first time you got to see these ships, and I'll tell you, man, it was definitely a breakthrough. It was really exciting to see these things that Chris Roberts had built. I mean, they were way ahead of anything that was there at the time. I mean, I was coming from games like EverQuest 2 and World of Warcraft and that sort of. I mean, it was a long time ago. We're talking.
Yeah,
No.
I saw the Kickstarter back in 2012.
Yeah.
And I was super excited about it, especially because I've heard of Wing Commander. I never played it because that was the 90s. I was a kid. I was playing like Doom and Quake and all of those games. So like Wing Commander was not really my thing.
How old are you now?
I'm 35 now.
Okay, I'm 49 years old.
So
But
you
in my
played
mind,
Wing Commander probably.
yeah, I played them
Yeah.
all those games. I mean, yeah, they were a breakthrough in gaming. They really were. I mean, he did a great job, and that Freelancer, and then they had games like Privateer, which was another one, and then
I
Elite
know about all of them.
came out. Yeah,
I,
great
I actually
games.
have a friend that is still playing Freelancer.
Yeah. Do you remember? I mean, you may have seen videos of it, Elite, way back in the day. I mean, that was just
Yeah, I saw
I
them.
don't know what it was called, linear graphics, and we thought that was amazing. It was like three-dimensional, and we thought that graphics was awesome. You know, you go look at it now, and
I
it
know.
looks horrible. Yeah,
Dude,
that's how far
like
we've come.
I was so immersed when I was playing I'm gonna say the first Quake, or maybe no, the first Doom. Yeah,
Doom,
actually
yeah,
Doom 2 back in like 1994 maybe.
yeah,
So my dad is a software engineer, and like he is working in a bigger company, and or big-ish, and VR was starting to be a thing back in the 90s and like late 90s.
yeah.
And
I remember.
one of the colleagues brought the VR headset with the, I don't know if I can call it a joystick. It had like a gyroscope inside of it, so you would like push forwards to go forwards, and strafing was done by like I don't know, just like rotating your arm. So I played Doom 2. I don't know which year was it, and I know that I was super fucking immersed, and I was so scared. And I mean, I was a kid, but after I took the helmet off, the VR headset, I was like, "Is this the real life, or is this just fantasy?"
Yeah,
Because like I was completely in the game, and that was like the shittiest graphics ever. Like you can't really call Doom like a 3D game. It is because it has like 3D what's it called, levels, but uh, um, the enemies were all like 2D, and they will always face you. It was so
2.5D
stupid.
or something. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
VR when people used to vomit on their feet because they just weren't used to that reality, and they just
yeah,
couldn't handle. It was almost like motion sickness, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, getting back to Star Citizen, what happened? You know, it was it was the pinnacle of this amazing game that was going to come out, and I'm a space dad, and they got me good, man. I think I'm about 3 or 4 grand in.
Ah, you're good.
I'm not worried about that, you know. I mean, I actually feel that I have got my money's worth.
Hmm.
Even though I will tell you right now, I despise the game. I used to be a white knight for this thing, and now I don't want to swear, but I'm so over it. I'm so over the way that they market. There's no
Honestly,
transparency there. You never
what?
see Chris. You know, where is this guy? You know,
Yeah.
what are you doing, mate? And then you go and see other games that are being developed, and then you look at what they've been doing, and then it's just, why can't we have that, man? Just if you're going to do the inventory system, just you've had 10 years to sort that out, and you've had 20 years before that of games like EverQuest, and just they
Yep.
had good inventory systems. Why couldn't you just get it decent from the get-go? And the only thing that I can think of is that they just don't have good coders, and that to me scares me. And I'm at a point now where I really don't think, and I'm sorry if you guys are out there listening to me going, "Oh, this guy's, he's such a
Thank you for the
prick."
30
I just
bucks,
don't
Ross.
think this game is ever going to reach a point where it's going to be the game even half of what we wanted. I just can't see it happening. It's too slow. There's too much money involved. When you give someone that much money, you have to spend it. You can't have that money sitting in your bank. You're going to be hit with so much tax. You've got to get rid of it. You have to invest things, and I can just
Stay
see these
awesome.
reworks after nothing happening, and then they threw in Squadron 42, which I was never a part of when I backed this game. I backed what was sold to me as an MMO, where it was like, Elite Dangerous, but I could walk around and interact with other players. That was the pitch that I put my money for right back in the day, and then shortly after that, Squadron 42 came in. I was like, what the hell's this? I don't want to say, I've got plenty of solo player games. I've played all those solo player games. I don't want that. I want this breakthrough that Chris Roberts sold me with the amazing man. I will say his video pitches and his cinematography that he uses to market his products is top notch.
Yeah,
Like,
the marketing is fucking phenomenal for
man,
this
it
game.
is amazing. I want that. I want that in game right now. Don't show me all that flashy stuff and then, tell me that it's sort of 6 years down the road or that it's been held up for another 2 years. Don't show me that stuff then, because that to me is borderline false marketing, and it's also just, I don't know, man. It doesn't sit well with me. I find it hard to give someone more money that's just not telling me. I don't want to say they're lying to me. I just think they're trying to. It's damage control. Like, they make a mistake. They're sort of in a new area themselves, and I understand that they've made this entire graphics engine themselves, and props for that. But it's they're just digging a hole, and it's like they're just treading water. They're trying to say whatever they can that people don't jump ship, man. It just feels like it's getting to that point. They haven't shown me enough. They haven't shown me enough progress, and then they hype it up so much, and then you go on YouTube and you see the other content creators hyping it up, and they're saying, CIG is releasing this amazing content coming out in 3.18. It's amazing, and then you actually look at what's coming out. No, it's not. It's
I mean,
basic stuff.
look, for what we had in a year, honestly, like, I'm so fucking excited because I want to play this game. I want to love this game, but like 317.12345 was just not enough for me. It was just dog shit, honestly. Like 317 is basically the same patch as 316 or 315, and then we
But
had
the
like
marketing,
5 of them.
yeah, but the marketing is great because you're still here, and I'm still here, and I hate this game, but I'm still here, and I'm waiting, and that's how they get us. And man, it has been done so well. Like, to me, it's more about just the game now is just about watching sort of the human psychology behind the whole thing. I find it fascinating how you've got guys out there that have spent tens of thousands of dollars for this dream, and it is a dream, and I understand that
Mm-hmm.
you're entitled to that. It's your money. I'm not going to say that you've wasted your money, but man, I think I'd be a little bit scared if I'd pumped that much into it, and I don't currently have enough to show for that kind of money pitch. And
Yeah.
I wish those guys all the best, but I just cannot see this game ever doing a lot in the next 10 years. I really don't. And then you go and look at a game like Ashes of Creation, and you see those developers. And I mean, even what is it, Bethesda? That guy Todd Howard with Starfield, and maybe some of you guys out there have played Skyrim and you understand about the modding community.
Mm-hmm.
The modding community is such a fantastic thing because it brings all the players together that can actually, they've got an outlet for their ideas. And there's some really talented modders out there that have now been given jobs because of what they did through that. And Star Citizen will never have that. They don't have this way to pull um, the community together. You've got your orgs, but there's just not a lot to do. And again, props to people that go out and sit down and organize 20 people to get together. We tried that. It can take you an hour and a half to 2 hours to get that many people together
Yeah.
to get inside a Reclaimer or to go and do something. And you fly out and your ship blows up. And then it's just like, wow, my God, you got to
Well,
be
it's
kidding me.
still an alpha, Angus. Come on.
Oh, mate, how many times can I pay to get kicked in the balls and keep coming back to get kicked in the
I mean,
balls?
okay, so I know that you're just venting right now, and I understand you completely because I'm like that. And but there must be something that you're excited about because you're still playing the game. Like, I know that you're still playing the game because like almost every day you hop into the general chat in my community channel and you vent out because you just got pissed off inside the game. So what is
Yeah, I
that
do.
that still holds you there to play the game?
Oh man, it's for me, it's that classic Aliens movie where you jump in your Valkyrie and you take off and you go land down on the surface and you jump out the back and you run into a bunker and you know elbow everybody in the face fully naked in a pair of shorts. I mean, what's not to like
Without
about
a
that?
head.
And then drag the bodies out. I used to stuff ships full of bodies and hang them all from ceilings.
Yeah.
It was just funny. That stuff's classic. Those bugs work well for this game if you can get some fun out of it. And we had guys like 6 to 8 guys going down there and just filling bunkers full
Yeah.
of dead bodies. It was hilarious. And that's where it is. It's the player content. I still get in there and the all gets together and we go and do a few things. But yeah, I don't go in expecting anything great to come out of it. It's just something to do. And I don't play for long. I'm old school hardcore gamer, and I'd be lucky if I stay in Star Citizen for an hour or more. There's just there's so much there. There's so much potential. I think that's what brings me back, and it's a fantastic, amazing idea. It's
Exactly.
just the way it's been done and what's behind how it's been done is what I'm not okay with.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
to sum it
I
all
hope it
up,
does
you're
get better.
frustrated with them focusing on Squadron 42 instead of working on Star Citizen, right?
Um, I am, because I never bought into that, but even then, I just don't know what's going on with that. It's
Mhm.
like, we can't give you this because we're working on this thing over here, but we're not going to tell you about that because we don't want to show you anything that might ruin the surprise.
Yeah.
And that doesn't wash with me. That to me just sounds like deflection. And
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
we talked about that on the streams and on my shows and videos and all of that. So there is nothing that excites you with 318.
The thing that excites me the most is just get rid of the bugs so that I can
Okay,
actually go
that's not
out
going
and
to
just
happen. Next.
well, then please just improve the server tech even just slightly better than what it is. I just want to be able to go down to bunkers and have a challenge, and they had it at one point. They did, because before Invictus patch came in, I was dying down in bunkers. It was hard. I was getting shot up and beat up, and that was the best week I had. It was just like, wow, what have they done? Suddenly, bunkers, I'm getting torn to shreds, and it's a challenge. Whereas, and I'm sitting behind crates because I'm freaking out. I don't even want to walk anywhere because I'm just going to get picked off. That's what I wanted. And then suddenly Invictus came in, and the whole game just dropped nuts, and it's never been the same since.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a little bit upsetting. They gave us this kind of cool thing, and then they took it away. And and that's a pattern that I'm seeing a lot as well. And some of you guys will show us videos from like their UI, and it looked way better back in the day than what it does now. And building blocks coming in, when? Server meshing coming, when? You know,
Yeah.
how much
Well,
longer do I
that's a
have
big
before
question. Like, we don't even know. We can only hope that they are currently working on server meshing and that we're gonna get it next year.
Yeah,
But we
I
don't know
mean,
that.
yeah, I have a fear that Star Citizen is going to be surpassed by another development company that has a better graphics engine, better coders, and just
Okay,
have an
I can tell
understanding.
you that there is a Star Citizen-like game being made in Unreal 5.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
this
not.
is
It's
my
like
fear.
it's like pre-alpha state right now, and that's
Yep.
all that I can tell you because I'm under NDA. But yeah, and at one
Yeah, that
point,
was.
Star Citizen is going to have an issue.
Yep. So it is now becoming. We're at that point now where it's taken so long in development that everybody else is caught up, which also was the fear. I think it's just taken too long. I mean, I know it's a lot of work, but just if it was slightly better managed, maybe we wouldn't have these problems. But again, it's an amazing game. I'm not going to say it sucks. I'm just frustrated because I had something really cool before Invictus, and I actually really loved the game. And the org was, we had a big org and we were active all the time. And now no one's there. It's the Discord's dead. No one plays the game. They haven't played since then because we just kept getting kicked in the teeth, and the fun was taken away. So maybe we are all just waiting for 3.18, and
Yeah.
let's fingers crossed. But I can't say I'm excited. Sorry, man. Yeah. I just this
Also, I can see the chat is talking about Star Atlas. I'm not talking about Star Atlas
yeah.
because that's a
No.
scam. So yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add or
Um.
retract?
No, let's just fingers crossed, man, and I hope that Chris Roberts just gives us a little bit more than not seeing anything from Squadron 42, and just fix a few little systems, man. We're so close to just having something that everybody can enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
without make believe Narnia land, which I think a lot of people tend to drift off into, because that's really our only choice at the moment.
I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
We'll see.
I hope that 318 is going to be good, and that I'm wrong, and that PS is not going to break everything. But I guess we'll see. And
Yeah.
I hope that 4.0 will drop next year, Because if you remember, like in the letter of the chairman, the PTU for 318 was supposed to happen in June for a couple of months, like 3 to 6 months, and then it drops, and then like at the start of 2023, we should have seen like server meshing, and we know that that's not going to happen.
I'm curious on your point of view about. I mean, this is no personal attack on Chris Roberts, but do you think he's bitten off more than he can chew with an MMO game as big as this?
Oh, for sure. Like, I see Star Citizen as, how do I put this? Like, nobody tried this before. Like, there's a reason why nobody tried this before, because it's fucking ridiculous and it's so hard to do. And then on top of that, he wants to develop another game, like Squadron 42, and like 3 sequels of it. And like he's starting a company for the past 10 years, and he has like 800 employees right now. And like if you take a look at, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2, which is like hands down the best game that I played in the past 10 years, it was like 3,000 employees, and plus maybe some people that they hired, like voice actors, etc. Doesn't matter. Or maybe like outsource some things. There's a plane flying over me. And it took him like 8 years or something like that. I forgot the numbers. But yeah, that's an established company that was working on a game. And like Chris does not have an established company. Yet he wanted to make like the biggest game ever, the game of all games, and then another one, like behind closed doors, and make like 3 sequels of it. Like he did bite off more than he can chew. Like at the start,
that's a lot of work. And also the two systems they don't work together, do they? Like you can't use the things from the solo and then just throw them straight over into the MMO. It just doesn't work like that.
For some things you can, but for some, like for example, Chris himself was working on the trolleys, right? Like he said it himself. And I'm sure that they work amazingly on a client side, in a solo player environment, because there's no server tick rate to like make it all jank. And the reason why they were janky was because the server tick rate was so low, and still is, that it couldn't calculate the physics of a standing fucking trolley. And that's like the trolley is standing, but between the ticks, it falls down because of the gravity. And then it finds itself inside the fucking floor. And then the server needs to resolve that issue with like physics. And then like...
Those are hospital equipment. That's the most deadliest creatures in Star Citizen, man.
Trolleys, gurneys, etc. Yeah. So whenever they say that they're working on Squadron 42, and that like them focusing on Squadron 42 is going to bring us more stuff into the PU, I just laugh at that, because that's just bullshit, honestly.
Yeah. Well, we can only hope, wait, and hope some more. I think that's sort of where a lot of us are at. Let's just, you're in. You paid your money, you're in. So sit back and enjoy the ride, I guess, and try and get as much enjoyment out of it as you can, and it's hopefully you won't sort of burn out.
Yeah, exactly.
Good one. Enjoyed the talk.
Me too.
Thanks for your content. It's good fun.
Thank you for watching.
Enjoy it. No worries. And don't forget to take a towel,
bring
and
a towel,
and some and the Vaseline. Okay, I'll catch you later.
All right. See ya. All right, so that was Angus MacGyver. I'm just going to disconnect him. And the next caller will be Nimnim. Nimnim, are you here? You're muted.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, let me just fix you up on OBS. And meanwhile, you can introduce yourself if you want to.
Hello. And my nickname is Nimnim.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know what else to tell, to be honest.
Hmm?
I don't know what else to tell, to be honest.
So when did you start playing Star Citizen? And like, can you introduce yourself to the chat and to the people that are watching?
I think it started in early 2021. so I'm pretty much new to the game.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it really well. But I'm most of the time playing for myself. So I'm normally just doing bunker mission, delivery missions most of the time.
Okay, you're enjoying those?
Yes, when it's working.
Okay.
But they're so buggy, so really hard to enjoying doing those missions when it's really buggy.
Can you even finish the Zeta Prolonite missions?
What mission?
The Zeta Prolonite, the ones that you get for delivery, like the first ones for 11K, I think.
No, it's a little bit. I haven't played this last 1 month because I don't have the time. But when I played, I didn't do them too much. I only did when I got the 45K missions.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hard time to doing it sometimes. Just the boxes just glitched when you don't hold the box, but then you drop it, but you're still holding it.
Yeah. That like keeps on happening still, and like the Zeta Prolonite missions, the boxes keep on spawning below they're like spaceships, and you can't even reach them, so you can't finish the mission.
Yeah, that happens.
So, are you excited about 318?
Yes, because I think I watched a YouTube video. Some YouTuber talked about cargo hauling was going to be a thing. I think someone told on the YouTube video, if I remember correct.
I mean, we already have cargo hauling, but the next patch is going to be like you're going to have physicalized cargo, but it's basically going to stay the same.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I'm really excited when trading, but I'm so afraid to do it because of the 30K and just try random explode.
Yeah. So you're excited for cargo hauling, and that's it?
Yeah, and I'm excited for more of the just more stuff to do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Making it more exciting, and I'm really excited for the reset, so I can just start from the beginning again.
Why does everybody want to start from the beginning?
For me, that was the most fun. When I finally got all of the good missions, they got a little bit bored for me because then I didn't have much more to do. It was because I'm really bad to bounty hunt. Every single time I've tried, I just have failed.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just me bad. I remember I was trying to hunt a guy. Took me 3 hours, and then he just logged off.
You mean the PvP missions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including...
that's going to be happening in the next patch too. So.
Yeah, probably.
They didn't solve the bed logging and the combat logging, alt-F4ing and all that.
Yeah. I'm not into the PvP stuff anyway, so I'm more into the PvE stuff. I like that more.
So do you play with an org?
No, I have made org with just some couple of friends, but the normal I'm just playing for myself because I don't like to play it right now.
Okay. That's nice. Well, do you have anything else? Are you excited about salvage, or do you just want to be a space delivery man?
Probably just space delivery man.
You actually enjoyed that? Really?
Yeah, because I play a lot of Euro Truck Simulator, and then just...
Oh, okay, it figures. Okay, it figures.
I was just vibing to listen to music or watch YouTube videos and just doing it in the background. I found it fun for some reason.
All right, nice.
When the game gets more stable, I guess my friends who own this as well love bounty hunting. We're probably going to bounty hunt together when the game is a bit more stable for that.
Yeah. Did you try like cargo hauling? Instead of delivering those boxes, you can do cargo hauling on your own.
Yeah, I did once, but then my ship just randomly exploded when I tried to land.
I mean, it happens sometimes, but not all the times, honestly.
Yeah,
although
but
I must say that like you're gonna earn more money with the box missions than you're gonna earn with cargo hauling.
True, but enjoying. I don't care about too much money earning in the game. I just enjoy playing it, see all of the details, Most of the lightly, I didn't even do any missions. I just walked around, just look around. I just looked at all of the details.
Okay, so you're just like a casual enjoyer of the game.
Yeah.
So, do you want anything to change? Like, I don't know, people were talking about 30Ks and like bugs, like the elevators killing you, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I hope they can probably make that list the 30K get not too much, so make it more. You don't have the fear to lose anything if the server just randomly crash. I just fix bugs, just make the game better, so you can actually enjoy the game more. But I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I bought the Anvil Liberator, but I don't understand the roadmap. I tried to understand it, but I don't understand
It is not on the roadmap. It's not
It's
in
not?
production. No, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So I see it going into production once we get Pyro.
yeah, that's what I thought. Makes sense.
Well, I mean, you got a C2 as a loaner, right? So that's not that bad.
No, it's not.
So like the C2 is a bit cheaper than the Liberator, but yeah, the Liberator is going to be a really good ship for like org-based activities, for the things that you're doing, for like mining and like being like living on the Liberator in deep space and having maybe a vulture, a prospector, and an expanse to like refine all those goods and just store them on the Liberator. It's going to be a really good ship for that at some point when it gets released. Which, like, we really don't know when that's going to happen.
That's true.
So when do you think, because you have some experience with the game, when do you think that we're going to see 4.0?
I don't know. Probably in 2024, around that time. We probably have a more realistic. But my hopes is in 2023. But probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I will see you in the next one. So I'm gonna switch out to the other scene, and thank you again. We're gonna be talking to Atlas Gaming, which you probably see. You saw him a couple of days ago. Puppeteer asked me if he can go before Atlas. So we have two more callers. One of which is going to be Atlas, and the other one is Puppeteer. Puppeteer is like my countryman. He is basically a neighbor, and I guess he wants to go to bed. But Atlas was there first, unfortunately, and I don't know. I'm going to see if Atlas is online right now because he's not responding to my messages on Discord. That's why I'm on my phone while I'm talking to. While I was talking to Nimnim. Atlas, you there? Atlas. Okay, so Puppeteer is gonna talk. He's gonna talk. Puppeteer, you there? What up? So Atlas is AFK.
Yeah, he was just on earlier with his webcam, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw
can take a
that.
slot.
I saw that. He probably went to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's more convenient for me as well.
Yeah. Let me just change your name on OBS. There we go. How are you?
Good, man. How have you been? Have you been busy? I see.
Yeah, I started streaming as you saw it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Like I wonder how you can keep it up, like with all the stuff that you do overnight. Like it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Kudos.
especially not having a second PC. Like I need to stream, and then after the stream, I got to record the whole stream off of YouTube, so I can have a 4K resolution, so I can cut it up in like a couple of like React videos or whatever.
Right. But yeah, it's been popping off. So
yeah, it's been fun. Honestly, I love interacting with people on YouTube, like through streams. I never streamed before, and it's a bit weird to me, but I'm liking it, I guess. So
as soon as the game gets more content, like live streams could be even more fun, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, one of the reasons why I'm streaming it is because I want to play Star Citizen, but I have nothing to do in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just talking to the chat and like counting the bugs, and that's it. It's a miserable life, honestly.
So that it's hilarious. Like whenever you wanna do something, like it's not working. Yeah, it's normal. Like I'm used to it. Like I've been through all the game loops in the game, and from time to time they will work. Next patch they will be completely broken, and it is what it is. Like you cannot go against it.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So, are you hyped? And I know that you are about 318.
Yeah, for 318, it's back in the with the org, back in the saddle as a pilot, and probably some FPS.
So
We
no more
are
DCS for you.
well, for the last 10 years, I haven't played any Call of Duty games, and now I'm having a blast in the new one. Like it's
Oh, is it any good? Because a
It's
bunch of people call me to play it, but I just didn't want
it's
to try it.
it's full of content, man. Like I went $100 in free to play, and then I went $100 in just to support them, and then continue on playing for another $100. So
Nice.
it's from it brings back the old vibes from 2009, like the old Modern Warfare. But yeah, it's not the topic. But yeah, I play a lot of other games, so I'm not focused on Star Citizen solely. So. And for Star Citizen for 318, my expectations like back with the org, back with the QQP, we're gonna do a lot of killings,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have a crew picking up the leftovers, like doing the scrap work, so we can earn money through it.
Oh, you're gonna do salvage?
Yeah. So
I
we're
thought that
gonna
you guys were gonna go and like pirate people first.
Pirating isn't our thing. Like it's probably gonna take a lot more time. If there's boxes on the ground, yeah, the salvage team will take it, but. QQP will be heavily focused on the killing part, and will let probably either Dark Claws viewers or somebody else that we are in alliance with pick up the parts. And we
Nice.
split the profits. So that's the plan, anyways. We're still waiting for the PTU, and I haven't logged in Star Citizen for a while, mainly because I'm playing other games and have some real life stuff to do. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting from the patch, and I'm really looking forward to Yogi's changes and Yogi's team changes to the flight model.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen in 318 though.
Yeah, I know, but looking forward to those and the rebalance and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you know, but I gotta say it for like the people that are watching.
Yeah, it's not coming in 318, that's for sure. Maybe around when Pyro comes out.
Probably, yeah. Maybe not even then. Like if we get Pyro by the end of the year, because like they currently changed the flight characteristics and like the flight modes for the Gladius only, from what I know. And then we have almost 200 ships that they need to.
Yeah, so the new flight model, it's all like hearsay and what Yogi said on Discords and on forums and so on. So basically, they nailed the flight model. Everything is ready. So they now just need to manually go in each ship and adjust the settings.
Yeah.
And even when they push it out, it's not going to be perfect. Some ships might be overly like pushed out. Some will need further adjustments and so on, but it's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it because at the moment in PvP community, there's a certain meta that developed over the years, and that's tricording.
Yeah.
Tricording on certain ships allows you to push like 23, 25, 30 Gs in any atmosphere.
Did you try tricording in the cutter?
Well, not the cutter, but I tried
19.5 Gs.
Yeah, that's insane for the ship.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
And people like it's the meta of PvP right now, like the fast disengage and fast entering into the merge and fast orbit around your opponent. And the way I see it, like it's going into more like kind of it's not gonna be DCS, it's not planes, but it's gonna be more slow down, more fast time to kill and so on. So I think with the changes to the how you what it's called, remind me, when the ship enters the state that it's not fully dead. So
soft death.
Death, yeah. So that's gonna be a thing. So maybe there's more interaction on the ground when you're on the moon and so on. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Hopefully. But that is not 318, right?
It's not 318. God,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely not 318. So we get a part of it, like just to fill it out and see how it works, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's been a slow year. 317 for the whole year. I agree on that. It's been really a snooze fest of a year, pushing more ship sales and so on. Like I think still like in Star Citizen for PU exactly, like it's a skeleton crew of developers developing it,
Yeah.
and everything that we get is just scraps. So and it's been held back by other tech that needs to be developed and other tools to be developed, and then they can roll out everything that needs to be in there. I was hoping for
You think
like,
that's gonna actually happen?
well, it's bound to happen. When is the big issue? Like that's
I
the
mean,
big issue.
to me, the issue is still the amount of the developers working on the game, because for the you called it the Steam. What is the technical term that we're using in the community? It's not a landslide. It's the fucking whatever. The floodgates. So for the floodgates to open, you need to have content first, right?
There's not gonna be much content. It's just gonna be like spoon fed to us from patch to patch, and
Yeah.
that's been the whole situation throughout the years. You never get anything major. Even if you get anything major, it gets forgotten about how major it was.
Yeah.
People just forget about it, and it's like that's normal as well. But I think like CAG as a development house, as a studio, they have a huge issue with the talent pool. And that meaning like you cannot just, if say you're working in Unreal Engine and you go to US and you have huge amount of people working on Unreal,
Mhm.
and you can just pick this guy, get him working. They already have built-in tools, building plugins, APIs, everything working in Unreal. And here they're developing everything from scratch. They're implementing Vulkan from scratch. They're implementing everything from scratch. And if you're like, I mean, no offense, those guys that are developing the game, like hearts out to them. But if you're like a developer and you want a steady job, you can bounce to any studio that's working on new technologies. You don't need to bounce to CAG and work on basically CryEngine, which is Lumberyard, which is whatever we call it now, Star Engine.
Yeah.
So it's like a shoot yourself in a foot kind of a move career-wise, but then those guys that are working there are probably pouring their hearts out into the systems that they're working on.
Yeah. I can agree with that. But okay, so let's try to keep it on the topic. So, is there anything else that you're excited about in 318?
Yeah, gameplay-wise, like I'm not excited about many things except like what I said, like PvP and get some salvage.
So you are excited about, let's say, career changes?
Not too much. Maybe when the flight changes hit, because if you're, I'm excited on FPS side if they some remarkable way they fix the FPS desync. You know that you have huge peakers advantage around
Yep.
when you
Around the corners and
pop
yeah.
around the corners and stuff. So if they fix that, I'll be FPS in Korea. I won't be flying around, because flying around is still gonna be at max speed, all the tricording meta kind of stuff. So I'm not enjoying that. I'm more enjoying Atmo, low level flight, Hurston, Daymar, where people cannot escape and where people cannot just tricord to oblivion, you know?
Yeah. They didn't mention anything about like changing the tick rates or the player rubber banding issues. So I don't see it happening in the next patch.
Sometimes they don't even know. So, for example, when 317.1, or I can't even remember which version was it, there was a huge issue with the hit reg, and basically the guys that were giving us feedback said like, we don't have that on our branch. So that local branch that they're testing on don't have any issues.
Yeah.
So on the next patch that they pulled out, it miraculously like leveled off. So hit reg
Yeah, it's
wasn't a
because of the
problem.
staggered development. They're not like if they're developing a patch, they're developing a patch from what they had once the like let's say they're developing 319 now, because some of them probably are. So they will be working on 317 branch and developing from there, and then implementing 318. Like once 318 gets released. So like implementing the finished code basically. So that's why that happens. But like
you have a probably like how I think they're working as agile fundamentally. Like I think
Yeah.
it's agile. So how it works, they have a PM probably, and that PM is project manager is tying in
Prime Minister, yeah.
Prime Minister, what can go into this build, like what can go, and the developers will give you like, I need a month for this, I need 2 months, I need 8 days, whatever. So
Yeah.
he's basically like compiling what he can put in that build, and that probably goes over to Chris or whoever is in charge of PU, and then he approves it, and then they compile all those libraries and everything to push out the build, and that's what we get internally. The main issue is that with so many teams touching up on so many stuff, it's those compiles are never gonna be straightforward. So there's gonna be a lot of errors, a lot of new bugs reintroduced, a lot of old bugs coming back into
Oh yeah.
play. So
But
we
yeah,
can expect
you saw
a
that
rough part.
they're switching to C#, so that should help a bit. Because I've heard from the community, and there are some devs there that said that C# is really good for like checking out if the code is gonna crash the servers if the code is right.
The last IST that I saw about development work was about tools that are going to help them debug versions.
Yeah, that's the
So
C#.
before they roll it out, it doesn't have to do anything with C#, or maybe it does, but anyways, it's a tool that will like compile the version and say you have error in this, go and fix it. So hopefully we'll get a more stable experience that way.
Yeah, and hopefully they will fix the elevators.
Yeah, I have no comment.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I've been playing Workaround Star Citizen since like forever, so I'm used to stuff getting glitched.
All right. So did I ask you when do you think that 4.0 is going to happen?
I hope 2023, somewhere about. Like they'll probably nail a date around some, I don't know, maybe next Christmas or something.
Yeah,
For
I could see
maximum
that,
exposure,
honestly.
maybe. Like I
Citizen
was
Con,
really
hopefully.
maybe.
Yeah.
I was really hoping to see like more of Squadron 42 this year on SitCon, and more of Pyro, and what they showed us. It was a full letdown for me. Like if they have this and they're not showing us, but it's still full letdown.
Yeah. I mean, that's my main issue with Squadron 42, that like we know what they did, but we do not know how much they have left to get us a game. Because they do like they release the monthly reports and we can see what they did for Squadron 42, but we have no idea how much is left. Like is it a year, 2 years, 5 years? What is it?
I think they're like, as I mentioned before, they're shooting themselves in the foot a lot of times, like
Yeah.
revamping old mechanics that are not valid anymore and making new tech and so on. So they need to go back to Squadron 42 and change everything basically. Like for example, on the ballistic changes, when they limited ammo from, say, what was it, like 2000 rounds on a Mantis to 300, like you would have to go in each campaign mission where you have the Gladius, and the default nose gun is the Mantis on the Gladius.
Yeah.
You would have to like either think of a way how to reload that ammo inside of the mission, or just go with the old build and have the old ammo, or just completely redo it. So I think they're like, that's why they're taking so long. And probably there is, it's completely backwards. So instead of building just a single player game, then focus on the multiplayer, they're kind of in this struggle in between two. And now what you have, like, if on current market, say Squadron 42 gets announced in a week and it's going out in a month, and in a month everybody buys it, everybody plays it, it's great. And what now? They finished it in what, 6, 8, 10, 20 hours, doesn't matter. They finished it, they go to PU, and PU experience is shit.
Yeah.
They don't want to play it anymore. So they will need to buff out both experiences to be on equal grounds before going live on anything.
That is true.
And it's going to take a lot longer.
Yeah, I cannot argue that, honestly. That is unfortunately true. And like seeing how Star Citizen is, I could only assume that Squadron 42 is looking basically like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, it is going to be on a client, so it's not going to have server issues, server related issues, but also like the FPS is not there, the combat is not there, like the ship to ship combat is not there yet. Boarding is not there. What else do we need in a space combat game, like a single player game? I guess they did most of the animations and all of that, probably, but also did they completely finish
So
the levels and the planets, like the Odin system and the other system, the Nyx system?
Well, if you think of it, it's if you played any of other Aaron Roberts / Chris Roberts games before, it's basically a FPS shooter on rails. So it's gonna feel same vibes like old Star Lancer from 2000 and what 4. I don't remember when was the release date, but it's gonna feel like that, and it's probably gonna be over the top because of the actors and everything.
Yeah.
And they're probably gonna, like, they don't need to develop the whole Odin system. They need to just based instance of Odin system with a skybox and around it, so you can see. You won't be probably allowed to go off mission into the distance and explore. You'll just be in one certain area, and probably they'll optimize it so that you don't load the whole system as in PU. It's just gonna be a smaller instance, so they can add more ships, more effects, and so on, which are probably gonna be graphically demanding. So you wouldn't want to play in a huge open map. That's how games do it in current state. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, do you want to add anything before we end this?
No, that was
All right. Thank you for
perfect.
joining.
Yeah.
Always a
White Knight
pleasure.
to the rescue.
No,
Always a
you're not a
pleasure.
white knight. Come on, you're not a white knight. You're like, you're not even fucking leaning towards white knighting, so you're good.
Yeah. I just get triggered a lot.
Yeah, I know that. I've seen that. All right. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna call in Atlas now.
Always a pleasure. Bye.
Bye. So the next caller will be Atlas Gaming. And okay, he left. Let me see. Atlas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, hello, my dear friend Atlas.
How are you?
Let me just change the name on the screen. How are you?
Good.
Nice to hear that. Right, there we go. Atlas Gaming. So you want to tell us your backstory, like introduce yourself to the
Introduce myself.
Yeah. Well, some people
I
don't know you in the chat, even though I saw
Sure.
that Knight Rider changed his name to your name. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
I don't know. I've been I guess I've been in the game for 2 years. So
By the way,
I'm
your camera
I'm
is not working, just so you know.
It's not?
No,
Oh,
you
let
didn't
me
enable it.
How about now?
Yeah, it takes
Oh,
some
I need
time.
the turn on. There we go. That's better.
Ah, okay. Nice.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, that's the stockpile of shit in the background.
Well,
I love
you
it.
caught me when I'm at Grimhex. You know, it's not my fault. There's a pile of
Nice.
shit behind me.
Is that from the
Uh,
Evocati, right?
No. What do you mean? The pile of shit?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That shouldn't be happening in the
It's
PU.
happening. Oh yeah, it's definitely in the PU.
How?
They turned off the garbage collection in Grimhex so that people can have Christmas presents.
Oh, the area too cluttered is not a thing anymore?
It's
Oh
yeah,
my
as of I guess
God.
yesterday. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that I talked about how to crash servers at the beginning of the show, because now you know how to crash servers single-handedly by going to the
Yeah.
elevator and just dropping shit.
That
Amazing.
Well, so far it seemed to be working, although for how long is another question.
Yeah. All right. So,
But yeah, no, I've been playing for a couple years, and I got started off just like everybody else, just buy a cheap ship, and then I started playing with guys in Tomatoes group, and every time I went on somebody's ship, I'm like, well, this explains why I'm not able to do as much. Why I can't do the bounties. I can't do the missions. So I'm like, it's the wrong ship. And I started realizing there's a shit ton of ships in this game that are better than the starter ships.
Which one did you get? The Aurora?
No, I started with the Cutlass Black.
Okay,
That
not
was
really a
my
starter
starter.
ship, but yeah.
Well, I think it came with it. Yeah, it came with a starter package. You could get a black as a starter. You could get a Galaxy or not a Galaxy, a Constellation as a starter.
Yeah, I know. You told me. It's a bit too expensive for like a game package plus a ship when you're trying a game out. But yeah. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Totally. So I don't know. I just started seeing the ships out there, and of course, as you get into the which ones did I first get into? I think the Vanguards, and the Vanguards are only available during select times of the year, and then in game, they're not cheap. They're like 4 million, I think, or maybe 3 million.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a lot more than I had in game. So I started realizing, okay, if I don't want to just be doing things in the game in the ships that I don't enjoy, I should just buy the damn things outright. And so that kind of started down a bad path.
Yeah. So right now, are you? I'm not going to ask you if you're excited right now, but do you have any complaints?
I'm very excited because any
no.
progress is
We're going to
better
talk
than
about
no
that a bit
progress.
later. We're going to talk about that a bit later. But
right.
Are you loving what you're seeing in 317.50 right now?
Well, the garbage piles are fun. I mean, the other day, this is actually not bad. It got worse than this. It was waist deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I think it's called emergent gameplay. It's really what the game's about.
Yeah. Submergent, because you got to submerge through the fucking boxes.
Submergent gameplay. That's good. I like that. Submergent gameplay, yeah.
All right, so are you excited about 318?
Excited about 318? Well, I'm excited to see any progress. So 318, even though 318, as people are talking about it today, and of course still not out. My prediction, it's not going to be out until Friday of next week. But
I heard Monday,
in the PTU, I don't think it'll be out on Monday. I doubt it.
I mean, they released a patch to Evo during the weekend, so like I'm pretty sure that they're working on it, like to get it out as soon as possible. But yeah. It doesn't matter. It could be Monday. It could be Friday.
But
if we waited for 8 months, we can wait for like 5 more days.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, but for people that have been here more than 3 months, just think back to what 318 was supposed to have in it when they started talking about 318.
What do you mean?
Quite a bit more than it is now.
What do you mean? Because I don't really remember.
What, 318? Well, we were supposed to have more ships. We were supposed to have full, not just hull scraping, but we were going to have, finally, after all these years, the full loop for salvage.
Well, they never said that.
That's for 318. Yeah, go back about 6 months. If you can't find the videos, I'll
6 months ago, we were having 317.2. So
no, we were having, but they were talking about what's going to come out in 318.
Okay, I don't really remember that they ever said that we're gonna get hull
Okay.
munching. I know that they said that like the tier 0 iteration of salvage is gonna be hull scraping, and then we're gonna get hull munching. But
Yeah.
I mean,
but that
honestly,
came later.
honestly, you can search for a
We're
video.
also supposed to have a cargo refactor.
Yeah, that is true. So, if you search for roads to roads to salvage video on Star Citizen's channel, you will see that it got released in 2018. Salvage was announced back in 2013, and then 2018, you can see Todd Pappy talking about that and saying that like they're working on it, and 4 years later, we're getting a tier 0 mechanic or like hull scraping with beams.
Yeah.
And I can agree that that's honestly bullshit, because like if you need 4 years to make something that we already basically have with mining systems, then like what are you doing? But again, honestly, I am excited because I'm so bored with Star Citizen. I want to do something else.
Because there are a limited number of things to do.
Yeah.
And you've done all of them.
Yeah. In the first 3 months that I played the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for, at least in my experience, as of when I started a few years ago, like two and a half, it seems overwhelming at first. There's a lot of things you can do initially.
Yeah.
But as you do more things, you start realizing that they're identical.
Yeah.
Like
it's the same with salvage and mining.
EHRT, if you've done one EHRT, you've done all EHRTs.
Yeah.
If you've done one, maybe two bunkers, you've done all the bunkers. Everything is just a repeat of what you've done in the past.
Yeah. And it's so fucking frustrating and boring.
Yeah, which if they just had, even if things are this shallow, right, where there's no variation, it's just the same thing, then you have to have a lot more things. If you want to have fewer things, then you have to have more variation in each one of the things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of they can take their pick, whichever one they prefer, but you can't do just one.
I mean, you do have some variations. For example, the bunker missions. Sometimes you're going to have double elevators and you will not, like, the elevators is going to be the boss. The other time, like, an NPC is going to spawn inside a wall and you can't kill him. Sometimes the friendly NPCs are going to teleport into your shots and you're going to get a crime stat. So that's all, like, that's variety.
Yeah, no, that's variety. And so sometimes the NPCs will crash into you and take you out before you can kill the hammerhead too.
Yeah.
So there is variety in terms of outcome. There's not variety in terms of what should be happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's good that they are doing some progress. Any progress is good, frankly. I don't have, even if this is how slow they work, right? It is what it is. They've hired people to work on a custom engine. So there's not like a whole bunch of qualified people like you would have if they were using Unreal Engine. Your pool of talent with qualifications is huge. They didn't do that, so their pool is much shallower to pick from. But regardless of the speed and the quality of what they're doing, the part that's really annoying to me is the lying. It is telling us things.
Don't say that
that
on
are
Spectrum,
just
you're
not
going to
true.
get banned.
Well, I can get banned, but it's reality. I mean, they're.
I know.
If you look at what they say they do, and then you compare a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later to what they did in past tense, then it's pretty obvious that they were not doing what they said they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, it goes like
if you don't want to call it
the
lying,
same happened with
just call
salvage,
it
right?
Exaggerating.
No, you're not. You're not exaggerating. So the same thing happened with salvage. Like they were working on salvage, and then they made a video called "Road to Salvage" 2018.
Right.
You can search it now on YouTube if you want to, and then like 4 years later, we have a thing for salvage. We have a tier 0 implementation of the beams.
Yeah.
God fucking
Well,
damn
and
it.
it's what I mean is they're exaggerating. So you can say we're working on it, and it's a very broad phrase. So what does it mean? Well, it could mean we had a meeting to talk about it. Okay, that was during the course of business. Company was paying people to be at that meeting. So
Yeah.
therefore they're working on it.
Yeah.
Now, talking about doing a new feature, which I think they are calling we're working on it, is vastly different than what the customer expectation is and what most companies refer to when they say we're working on it. Because for most companies, when they say we're working on it, they mean it's past that initial stage and it's an active deployment right now. Like
Yeah.
people are spending the majority of their focus bringing this to completion.
I'm just
And
going to tell
that's
you.
not what we're working on means at CIG.
I'm just going to tell you two things. In the last monthly report, there was I'm not going to quote it because I don't really remember the exact quotes, but I'm going to paraphrase it. They said that the development was talking about bringing alien life forms to Stanton, like
Right.
bugs
Yeah.
or whatever.
Do you care about those?
I mean, I want to see stuff flying around and crawling around, sure, but why would you tell us that you're talking about that? Like, who fucking cares? Like, it's just like saying we're talking about getting another coffee machine. Like, either fucking get it or don't. I don't care,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, whatever. And then there's like, do you remember when they teased us with hacking?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then we saw a few updates on hacking, and then nothing. And then we had the other,
But
like
do you remember
the
when
new
they sold a ship that relies on hacking?
Legionnaire,
Yeah.
and then then they took it off from the roadmap.
Yep. Well, the sale was
From the
done.
progress
It doesn't
tracker?
need to be on there anymore.
Yeah, of course. We have the C1 now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they added a bunch of. Do you remember that ISC when they showcased the new reputation things like the logos for kidnapping and
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what. Like I made a whole like Photoshop thing there. I had like jerking off, and then I had like a bunch of stuff like that. It was just stupid. But bondage instead of kidnapping because like it was the same logo, and yeah, like. They talked about that a year ago, and still nothing. Like, why are you teasing us with that? Because marketing.
Well, and here's the question, and I think I know where I stand on this, but do you think it's better that they do what they've been doing with Star Citizen, or would it be better if they treated Star Citizen the same way they're treating Squadron 42, and just not talk about it until it's done?
Okay, from a standpoint of a content creator, I would say it would not be better to not talk about Star Citizen. But from a standpoint of a consumer and a player, I would love to know more, but I would also love to know when. But if you only like gave me those two options, then don't fucking sell me shit like fucking concept ships that we're not gonna get anytime soon because we don't have modularity, etc. So yeah, it's a difficult question to answer if you only have two options.
Yeah, and I think the main thing that players are concerned about, and myself included certainly, is the bugs in the game make playing the game like other games that are similar literally impossible because you can't count on anything lasting. So whatever time commitment you put in, you can't get your time back, right? So you get your ship back if your ship blows up because some bug in the game caused it to blow up, or for you to die. Like it doesn't even have to blow up. You could literally die in your ship, and then that ship is lost. Like you can't find it anymore. It's not showing up. It's on a different server because no server meshing, right? So, in other games, that doesn't happen because other games, and of course, this is where it's an alpha. It's not a release. What do you expect comes in?
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be able to say, this is an alpha, it's not a full game, bugs are normal, don't complain. But at the same time, they want to have you be spending money on this non-game alpha.
Yes.
This alpha has more unpaid testers than any other game in history, I think. I don't think there's any
And
game
they're
that's
not
been
treated
tested
as
by a
such.
million people.
But they're not treated as
No.
such.
No.
That's my main issue. Like you go to the issue console, you report stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
like it gets reported, it gets upvoted, it gets confirmed, and then nothing
Right.
changes. And then like for me, for example, some of the major bug fixes in the past year and a half because of my channel happened because of my channel, because I uploaded the videos and I was like people bashed on me and fucking hated me for that. For example, the things that you have in your background, like the area to cluttered, was added because of me and Lex, the first caller. And like I didn't get anything. I didn't get access to the Evo. I got the only thing that I got is like a bunch of pissed off players because I released a video with that. And then CEG fixes it, and that's it. And they only fix the most crucial bugs that are going to crash the servers, like that, or the fact that you can like equip a bomb onto your like whiskey glass and just have a fucking Moab and like roleplay as a Moab. They fix that because that's going to crash the server, but they don't fix, I don't know, the elevators or whatever. For example, I also reported that the Cutlass steel, whenever you shoot the door guns, you change the the background. Whenever you shoot the door guns, you will hit your hull somehow, even though you're shooting outside, and you will hurt your ship. And that got confirmed. And then the developers closed the issue console report and said, that is intended by the devs. Like, what?
You know, one of the first experiences that I had in this game, like the first bug I ever noticed, I reported to tech support, which is what you do usually when you find a bug in a product in software, is you file a support ticket. And it was right after I became concierge, so I filed this ticket. Then I get a response back that says, "Oh yeah, did you check the log of issues in the
issue console?"
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's where you want to go to actually report bugs and then look at what bugs are there.
That's one of the things. Like, why is that on the launcher?
Like, why does that exist? I'm reporting a bug to you. You go to the damn console, you upvote the bug, you fix the bug. Why do I need to do that as a person that just paid for this game?
I'm gonna tell you, like honestly, I was an alpha tester of Squad and War Thunder and a couple of smallish games because on some of them I worked on, like a sound engineer. But the issue console is a great thing. Honestly, it is the greatest thing that they did. But on the other hand, they're not really reading it out and fixing those bugs. For example, I just didn't finish. After all of that, like all the bugs that I reported, I had a bug on the issue console itself because nobody could read my issues. Like, it's basically like I was banned, but I was not. And like maybe out of 50 people, one could see my reports. Okay. If they click on the link, most of them cannot see the reports. And of course, I reported that on the issue console because you have like a segment to report an issue on the issue console, and it got confirmed and nothing. So what's the point in me testing the game now if they're not going to fix that so people can see my issue console reports?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It is different. It's different in the way they sell the game. It's different in the way they operate support. So it's different in the way that they expect you to play / test the game. And everything about this game is different. And I don't know. The reason I got into it is because of two things. One, I like space. I've always liked space games. And I just got done. Well, I didn't get done, but I'd played Elite Dangerous for about 2,000 hours or so.
All right.
And so I'd done most things in that game. And they just came out with Odyssey, which is a stupid expansion that nobody asked for, which effectively lets you walk on planets, and they added a bunch of first-person stuff.
Yeah.
What people wanted was to walk in their ships, not on planets, and that company, I bitch about that company too. I'm not like exclusive.
But you
to
need
bitching about
object container streaming
CIG.
for that, right?
Yeah, of course, exactly. Well, if you don't design a game with that in mind, it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So the issue is, realistically, you don't need any of that shit. We already have the tools in place because you can move the camera in Elite Dangerous just like you can in Star Citizen, separately from the body. You can move the camera behind you, around you, to get all these gorgeous shots. Both games have that. So how is that different than letting you move the camera from around inside the ship, have the body be sitting where it's sitting, make it invisible?
I can tell you. So your body is, and we gotta like after this we gotta talk about creatine because that's the topic of this video. But your body, like, let's say, have you ever played Battlefield?
Sure.
So in Battlefield you have like armored warfare, you have tanks and all of that. When you get to the tank, you hold F and you are inside the tank. There's some games give you an animation, but I think that Battlefield doesn't. So the reason why that's happening is because your character is despawning and it's spawning inside that tank. So for example, the Elite Dangerous, your body inside the pilot seat is the part of the asset. So it's not a real player. It's not you that you like you have right now in Star Citizen. And you need object container streaming for that, because that's basically the game and the servers need to follow your coordinates, like your players' coordinates around the verse. I'm going to say around the verse. So you have like a null point. Let's say that's the sun, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like Daymar, for example, is going to be X, Y, Z something, it doesn't matter. And then inside Daymar, you have an object container, and that's going to be your Andromeda. And then inside that, that's going to be your player, right? So Elite Dangerous does not have that. Therefore, they cannot really just make the interiors for the ships. I know that it's going to be easier for them because they have less ships. They have like 11, 12, something like that. But still, they need the tech for that, right?
I think it's 29, but yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I never played it, but I just heard from
definitely
a lot of people.
It's a lot less for sure. But again, that's just one of the ways to do this, but it's not the only way to do it. There are other ways to accomplish the same thing. To the player, in the end, they don't care how you do it.
Of course.
As long as they get the experience they get.
Yeah.
And the way that this game chose to do it, I don't think was particularly smart. I don't think these guys had the technical knowledge required to create the game with the vision that Chris had.
Yeah.
So they were just throwing stones in the water and then seeing how far they bounce. And they're still doing it to some extent. Less now than they were in the first 5 years. But what did they do in the first 5 years? You look back at that time frame, it's like they were just basically testing. That's all it was. It was like 5 years of testing.
They were team building and trying to make something to make more money so they can build a bigger team. And like it's basically the same right now. Just like getting us, like selling us concepts so they can build a better and a bigger team. And then just like it's 10 years in, it's painful to watch and to be a part of, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, how the only other way that they could do it is to outsource the whole game, which would maybe be better.
I have no problem with them selling ships. I have a little more problem with them selling concept ships.
Yeah, and promises. Not just ships, but
Well,
promises.
Yeah, promises for sure. But if somebody's going to buy anything more than a starter ship, which you shouldn't, don't spend your money. Don't buy anything more than a starter ship. But if you are, just buy ships that exist. Don't buy concept ships. The fear of missing out on a ship when it was first sold as a concept is an irrational fear.
Yeah.
You can always get it in game. All this stuff will be available in game with no actual money spent. And even if you don't buy the concept, I mean, look at what's going on with CCUs. People paid $600, or maybe it was $550 when the Carrack came out.
Right.
And that was like a great deal. And I just built a Carrack a month ago for $300 using CCUs.
Yeah.
Do you really need to buy a ship ever?
Well, maybe a Cutlass Black, just to have like a head start. Honestly, I mean, we talked about this already. Ducati Black is my most beloved ship.
That's
in the game.
your go-to.
Yeah, as a starter
I think
ship,
it's okay.
yes. You can do
My
everything
problem
with
with it, having flown it a lot initially, is those two damn front wings. If it didn't have them, it would be a great ship because they break all the time. The weapons are on them, so you lose one of those front wings, you lose weapons, and it starts to fly weird. So if they got rid of those, I think it would be a much better ship.
I like it.
That's true of most Drake ships.
Yes. But anyway, we went too far away from the topic. So are you excited about 318? I'm going to ask you again.
I thought I told you that like in the first minute. I'm excited
I mean, you
about
did.
anything that is progress. So is there anything specific in 318
Yes,
that I'm excited about?
that was the next question.
No, not at all.
Salvage?
No, because
that
mostly
does not
it's gonna be
excite you?
bugs. It's mostly going to be bugs, and it's going to be us complaining about those bugs. So
I mean,
stuff for creators.
Sure.
But it's not until 318.1 or 318.2, more likely, that the promise of 318 is actually going to be fulfilled. Probably 318.2.
Okay, but
It's
salvage
318
does
is
not
just gonna
excite
be
you? You don't
buggy.
want to do salvaging? You don't want to do boarding and stuff like
No,
that?
I'll like I said, anything new, it'll be fun. But like, okay, how many ships do you think you're going to salvage before you're bored?
I mean, one.
I'll
The
go
second
more
one is
than
probably
that.
going to be boring.
I'll say
But,
probably 5. Like after 5 ships, I don't know. I mean, there's a video game that I play that was very fun. It's great. It's very tongue-in-cheek, very dark humor about a ship salvaging operation.
Yeah. What was the name of the game?
That's what I'm trying to remember. It was Breakdown or something like that.
Yeah, Ship Breakdown, something like that. Yeah.
I can't remember. Here, I'll pop my Steam open while we're
Ship
talking. But
Breaker, maybe?
Shipbreaker. There you
Yeah.
go. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shipbreaker. It is a very fun game for a little while. Like there's a definite end point to after you've taken your 10th ship and you've salvaged it and you chopped all the ship parts into their components. You've separated. It's kind of like, okay, now what? Oh,
Well-
more of the same. It's the same thing over and over and over. Not really fun anymore. So I think
Well-
in this game, it'll be fun to try it for everybody for sure. Will there be people that think this is more fun than mining? Probably. And they'll just start just doing this. I could totally see using 2 accounts, parking yourself up in the Aaron belt.
You don't need two
And then
accounts, just a single one. You can salvage your
no,
own
but-
ships.
Right. But I mean, just listen to what I'm saying. So park
Right.
yourself in the Aaron belt with a salvage ship and then just fly ships to salvage nonstop and just keep working there. I mean, it's like you could do this literally any time of day or night. It's a one-person activity, arguably. Right now they don't have any restriction on salvaging your own ships, but we'll see how that works.
Yeah,
I think
we'll see.
probably what's going to end up happening is they'll just drop the price of salvage to a point where it's no longer worthwhile doing. That'll fix
Well,
the problem.
it is like if you have a vulture, it's already basically that. Especially if you don't hit any salvageable ships in your endeavors. Like if you, because there are going to be some like salvageable ships in the like asteroid fields, like Rural 1,
Yeah.
and etc. But
Yeah, like
we don't
the-
know how many. Like, is it gonna be just like
Yeah.
mining, and you're gonna search for a ship for fucking hours to find one, or should you just
Mhm.
take out your own ship or your friend's ship and just salvage that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just wanna say something about the point that you made, that like we're not gonna have that much fun with it. If it was more in depth, like Shipbreaker, if you had component salvaging, if you had hull munching and all of that,
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
it would last maybe even for a year, because there would be a complete
It
game
would certainly
loop.
last longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what ship salvaging, or at least this level of ship salvaging, is going to end up being is simply that if you need to repair your own ship, then maybe you fly around till you find a salvage ship, or you take another one of your own.
Yeah.
And then you break that down and then use the goo that creates, the stuff, to then repair your own ship without paying money for it. Like, I can see people that are doing role play definitely using salvage a lot.
Yeah.
People that are not doing role play, probably not as much. If you're the type of player that will suicide yourself in order to travel a big distance in less time, you're probably not going to be doing a whole lot of salvage.
Yeah. Right. Do you have anything else to add? Because we have another caller, and that's going to be it for today.
Yeah, no, I'm go for it. I don't have anything else. I think any progress is good progress, so I'm certainly looking forward to it from that standpoint. There's nothing earth-shattering about this. I don't think that their implementation with level 0 is going to have a whole lot of gameplay. It's going to be very repetitive. And once people try it, I don't think they're going to do it a whole lot. So, but it's something. It adds one more thing. And if they just come out with like 20 more things, then the game's definitely going to be more fun.
Yeah. By the way, I just saw that you're not in the chat. I wanted to plug your channel. So Atlas has a YouTube channel, and you can go sub to him if you want to. You gotta be watching the video so I can tag you there. You gotta be in the chat.
In the chat. What
Yeah.
chat?
So yeah, at Atlas. No, I can only see Knight Rider. That changed his name to Atlas Gaming. He was like Grumpy Eye for a second there.
Oh! In the thing, and
Yeah. In the
yeah.
stream.
Don't worry about it. You've plugged it. I'm sure you'll plug it more later. But
All right.
either way, yeah, it's Atlas Gaming 4K is the actual name of the channel.
There you go. Go check him out. Like, you gotta love the beard. We're basically the same. There's
The beard.
a slight
The beard is pretty
age
pretty
difference,
long.
and that's it. Yeah, it's basically ZZ
it's-
Top. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And that's I actually live where where some of those guys live.
Yeah. All right.
So-
Thank you for joining me.
All right. Absolutely.
I'll see you later, I guess. We have one more caller, and that is going to be the real Mr. J, straight from the chat, from the podcast chat that you're contributing right now. This is going to be the last one because I don't know. I think this took us 3 hours already, but yeah, it was fun. Anyway, hello, the real Mr. G.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
You've been sitting there for a while, and I'm sorry about that, but we had a bunch of guests.
Oh no, it's all good.
Real. I'm just typing your name out, Mr. G.
Yeah.
There we go. So how are you?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing? And everybody in chat there, and you as well.
I'm doing good. Getting a bit hungry, but that's it, honestly. So
we should make this quick.
could you? Nah, it's cool. So could you give us your backstory? Your
Me? Okay, so I'm actually an old backer as well, just like MacGyver. You said? Was this Yeah. Angus. There you go. Yeah. So for me, I feel like I'm excited for 3.18 just to see PES and Gen 12. Because that's like something they've been talking about for like the longest time ever.
I mean, we had Pcache and iCache before PS. They were supposed to be the thing.
right? And then like socks was like the major thing, and then they're like, after socks comes in, all this stuff will come in, and I'm like, no, it won't. But so like I'm excited for those two things. I don't really care much for like anything else because salvaging will be, the tier 0, and when will we reach the next tier? Like next 5 years from now.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah. So like even mining still feels like tier 0. When it first came out, it feels almost the same. I mean, it's obviously there's a little bit of a difference, but I'm like, it's not enough to make me be like, oh God, this is amazing. I mean, I love mining, but it's boring.
Yeah, we got the mining gadgets, and I was just like, yesterday or 2 days ago, I was talking to Atlas. I don't even know if anybody's using them because they're
You
pointless.
don't know what?
The mining gadgets. So they're like, I don't know if you even saw them. You can buy them on like World One or whatever, and you put the mining gadgets on the rock, and then you set something on them, and then like it's gonna lower the, I don't know, the resistance of the rock or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like it's cool, but it's like it should break if the rock breaks. I don't understand how you can just retrieve it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's like 50% of the time you can retrieve it, but still, like
okay.
it solves a problem that is non-existent because we had consumables and all of that before, and like you can say that it gives more depth to mining, but also why though?
Yeah.
There was no point in adding those. Not yet, not right now. Like maybe when we get bigger rocks than like 9K rocks that we have on planets.
That makes me curious about salvage. Like, will they add different mining heads for different armor types whenever they decide to bring in armor?
As far as I know, from what I've seen from their like ISCs, I've seen that like some videos show that like the vulture has I don't know, a salvage head on the left side and another salvage head on the right side. So maybe like straight out of the gate, maybe you will be able to buy like different salvage heads.
I would hope so. I mean,
me
I'd like
too.
to see some change. I mean, the game to me feels the same since 3.5 almost.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like we've had cargo missions for 3.0. We've had bounty pretty much 2.6 because it's like the most valuable player. Oh, go kill him, and you're like the most new valuable player.
Yeah.
Right. It's like just iterations of what we've already had feels the same. I've been to every single part of the game. That's interesting, I guess you could say. So I know everything in the back of my hand. So I don't know. I feel like 3.18 might bring some stuff to it. Maybe not. I feel like we'll be just like 3.5 and 3.8 where CIG will show off something cool, and then we're stuck for the next year catching up to what they showed off, but not bringing like half of it. And then they bring in different stuff.
I'm scared that that's gonna happen with like 3.18 to 4.0. Like
I think
maybe
4.0 is the most scary part.
Yeah. Because like I see them releasing 3.18 and then giving us maybe 3.19 mid next year, and then having the same year as we had this year. So like 3.19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, etc.
Right.
Until we get like server meshing. Which
I think
scares me a lot, honestly.
Yeah, it is scary. And I feel like CIG kind of put themselves in a hole because they did 4 patches a year when they're so delayed with every single patch. So it's like you should have just done 3 patches a year. That way you can actually finish stuff a little bit better. But now that we kind of have a skeleton crew, is what people, the meme is. It's like, who knows if 3 patches will be enough? It's like maybe 2 because you have not enough time for anything now. Because we were supposed to have 3.18 October.
3.18, the PTU was supposed to drop in June. And
Yeah,
then
June.
it was pushed back to September, and then it was pushed back to December.
And I guess I kind of understand that more after Sean Tracy explained some stuff in the live, the Star Citizen, not live, the Inside Star Citizen about like validating and stuff. It's like, okay, it makes a little more sense. So I can not be as angry.
Yeah, well,
But
they said that like once they tried the PS.
This is what?
Go ahead. What did you say?
They said what? Your mic went. Zoom.
Sorry. It's probably Discord. They said once they tried PES, like the persistence worked, but everything else was on fire. So the game basically broke. And like you had persistence, you could drop that famous cup in the Microtech woods and come back to it. Yeah, but like the rest of the game was just like it just died, and it just wouldn't like stay alive for more than a minute.
That's fair, I guess. That's
Yeah.
a very fair validation for not doing it. I mean, it's new system. Like it is fair. Like there are companies I think that will catch up and will make things that are like what we've been expecting to see. But it's how far they've already been in development. Like, do they have a team that's bigger or the same size? Like, or is it just that it's the system just much easier? Like Unreal Engine 5, maybe. Like, is it just easier to do it with it? So I'm like, with all these new systems that we're supposedly getting next year, it's like, are we really though? Like, let's see who wins between the two. Like you said, you have an NDA, so now I'm curious. Like, how far are they?
Oh, they're not far. They're like
They're not far. Okay.
Yeah, but they
Oh.
are. I can't say what they're working on, but I can say that they are working on the things that Star Citizen should have done since the get-go, like since the start.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool. It's the first game in the world to have a full gas giant, and yeah, Gen 12 will be, something nice to see. So
yeah,
we'll see if that game that you're looking at.
Yeah, Gen 12 shouldn't really like change anything right now. But
No.
also, I posted this in my community Discord, like in the general chat. There were some like interviews with devs and like why some games are not switching to Gen 12 and to DirectX 12, and they said that like it only gives them 10% of improvement, so it's not that much. But like DirectX 11 implementation for Star Citizen was bad, so maybe them like releasing this will like make them be able to optimize the game even more with Gen 12.
Yeah, I will give
Hopefully.
them credit though. It is pretty impressive for me to see from back of since 2.6 to see how much more smooth the game is, with not even adding Gen 12 and all that other stuff. It's just like that's impressive to push it so far to a limit, but obviously you have to eliminate so much more just to make it that smooth. So there's a lot that's changed for me in the last 5-6 years of playing. Like I would like them to do is like take for bunkers, for example. I know they said they want to change it and all that. It's like that's nice, but you should have showed us off that like from the beginning instead of just here's bunkers and this is what you could do in them and go kill 7 guys and you're done.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit skeptical about the new bunkers or the 2.0 bunkers because from what I've seen, like all of them are going to be basically the same. Like, yes, you're going to have modularity inside and like the interior is going to be different in each bunker, right? Because they're working on like, I don't know, 200 rooms inside and they're going to be procedurally generated for each bunker. And then you're going to have each bunker stay like that forever. But I'm skeptical because like, if it is the same, like it's still the same assets, right? So in the end, it's just gonna be the bigger version of what we have right now, with more rooms. Yeah, go ahead.
I hope. I mean, like with when they add Gen 12 and improve it and optimize, I'm hoping that like it will be smooth enough where we're not getting this AI running in place and then he teleports in your face and shoots you and you're dead for no reason.
The AI is not going to get fixed by Gen 12. That's server issues.
No, it's
like,
not. It's not. Yeah, it's server. But still, even then, like I'm hoping like just all this optimization that they throw into the game will just be beneficial whenever we get that stuff. But who knows if that will come next year? It could be a surprise. We don't know anything. For all we know, 4.0 could be Stanton 2.0 and nothing else.
Yeah, adding Levski back to Stanton.
Right? Next.
Yeah.
Good old Levski.
So what are you most excited about when it comes to 318?
Like I said, I would say Gen 12 and PES.
Just
I am
that?
excited.
So not salvage?
It's to me it looks like mining just tier 0 again. You know, just like we got what we've already had. I do have a reclaimer, so I'm gonna try it.
All right.
See what I mean. Obviously, I can just spawn on another ship and just go salvage that and just go make my money that way. But since we don't have any, you know, component systems in yet, which they showed off in a video like 2-3 years ago, there's like a whole thing about it. I can find the video; it's pretty quick. But
yeah, you can post it in chat because I can't show it right now. The way
actually,
the OBS is set up.
Okay, here I've actually found it. There you go.
Is it the road to salvage?
No, this is the components, but I'd say if they had this component system in here, this would change everything. It'd make people rethink of what they want to do with their ships. You know, the consequences is what we need.
Yeah.
And there's no gameplay loops for that. And it's like, I feel like why add salvage when you have no loops, when there's just a loophole where everyone's just gonna sit there and salvage their own ship and make money.
Exactly. But honestly, like baby steps. Like we're gonna get something, and for I can't say that I in all honesty, I can't say that I'm overly excited about salvage, but I am excited about having something else, like doing something else in the game. Like I love the reclaimer and the looks of it and the interior, like especially, and I would love to live inside that ship and just be a salvage guy.
Yeah.
But is that going to happen in 3.18? Probably not. I'm probably going to get fed up with salvage in like, I don't know, a month.
That sounds about right for me as well.
And then it's going to stay like that for next 10 years. No, not 10, but like at least a year.
Oh, next will you be able to lightsaber someone's ship in half? That'll be the new update.
Yeah.
And then you'll get an Orion and Spartan laser somebody after that one.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna get Orion in like, I don't know.
I feel like that's a ship that's not going to be done until like Endeavor times.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Orion and then Endeavor.
Yeah.
But okay, when do you think that we're gonna get 4.0? I don't know if I asked you. I'm like zoning out at this point because I'm getting tired.
No, you're totally good. My guess is that CIG will try to do PTU maybe this week and push it all next week until the 22nd or 23rd, because that's kind of what they usually do. Is their pattern it'd be like maybe the 21st, but that pattern is usually right before Christmas. So that's my guess for there. It's always been that way.
I asked you about 4.0.
Oh, 4.0. Sorry.
Yeah.
My brain's tired too. 4.0. I was thinking 3.18. I don't know why. 4.0. Yeah, like 2030. 2030.
That's generous. That's optimistic.
Oh, sorry. Okay, should I make it better because it's more realistic? 2060.
All right.
Maybe when I'm dead. I don't know. You know, I've still got like 75 years to go. I'm 25.
You're good.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
a
good,
youngster.
You know?
Yeah, you're a youngster compared to like most people in Star Citizen.
So yeah, you know, 4.0 2060 guys. That's confirmed.
Yeah,
soon TM.
All of you that are banned on Spectrum for 10 years, you're gonna be there when 4.0 gets out.
And then one day Chris will be like, I told you, we're almost there.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I would say for those who are just getting into the game, you will probably enjoy what you see and you'll get your money's worth. But in the long run, just wait, I guess, if you're going to get fed up. Then just know there's bugs. Features.
Features, yes.
Yeah, features where you can glitch with no head and stuff like that. It's very fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say.
Honestly,
explore.
I keep on saying, even though I'm the grumpy eye and most of the community hates me because I'm, I don't know,
Captain Negative.
I mean, yeah. Am I though? Like I'm just being critical.
No,
I am optimistic,
I feel like you and Mike are similar in so many ways. Mike is he's the king of logic in my opinion when it comes to like reason for this game. And you like to point out the same thing. You like to call CIG out. Yeah. And that's they need to be held accountable for a lot of their stuff.
I mean, who
I
else is
personally-
going to do it if not us, the backers? That's my standpoint.
No, it's true. And I mean, sorry for the white knights out there, but you have to also look at the logic of the game and you know, development.
Yeah.
And ask people who really are old backers, like what their opinions are.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's white knights that are like just joined this year or the last 2 years, and they're like, it's gonna come soon. It's like, you're dreaming.
All right. Thank you for joining. I gotta end it. Yeah,
I know you've been here a long time, so
yeah, like
rest up.
for 3.5 hours now. So
Jeez.
I wanted to make a quick little video, and then I figured out, like, I made the script. It was yesterday, and it was like 5 a.m. when I made the script, and I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna make. This is the thing that I wanted to make in a while. For the next time, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna restrict myself and the callers to like 20 minutes per call, and maybe like have 5 callers, and that's it. But for the first time, I think this was really good, and thank you for joining my first like podcast, Rehab.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, I'm gonna finish it off. I'm gonna mute myself now. Thank you.
All right, see you later.
See ya. So, yeah, guys. Okay, I'm gonna switch to this cam actually. So, thank you for watching, and you heard it here first. You heard the community and a bunch of different opinions and people that are that have backed back in 2012, and people that have backed a couple of months ago, and their standpoints on the game and their experiences, and if they like what they see right now, and if they are excited about 3.18. So I'm probably gonna be posting this as a stream and then this as a separate video on YouTube, so you can share it if you want to. You can share it right now. And thank you for joining, and thank you to all the callers. It was amazing, actually. And I'm actually starting to like streaming more than I like just like having a desk job and making fucking videos. So yeah, that's Sleepy Grumpy, need a new emoji. I'm sorry that I neglected most of you in the chat, but like I just can't like look at the chat and talk to the other guys. But thank you all for joining, and yeah, thank you to all my supporters on YouTube and on Patreon. If you want to support me, there's Patreon, there's Super Chat, there's memberships on YouTube if you want to do that. And also, if you didn't see, I have new merch. All of it is designed by me. You probably saw it. I didn't know how to like make it loop and then not loop during the video or during the stream, so I just had it on at all times. So yeah, sorry about that. I didn't want to like just have promo jumping at you the whole time, but yeah, fuck it, I didn't know how to do it. So thank you again, and if you want to support me, you have Patreon, you have Super Chats and all of that on YouTube, and you have the merch. That's why I wanted to talk about this. All of it is done by me, and that's a way, if you want to get something in return for supporting me, that's a way to, like, the best way to support me. And with that said, thank you for watching again, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and bye.